Aston Villa, Onana, whenever it's a game where it's easy, he'll throw his hands up to the whole end and celebrate and get them going. When it's a tough game, he'll come off injured. So I agree, missed chances, not good enough.
Forest going to the second leg at Villa Park, a goal ahead thanks to Chris Wood's 200th career goal. Remember, we'll be bringing you live coverage of that one on talkSPORT next Thursday. Meanwhile, we understand Craig Bellamy is reluctant to leave the Wales job to go back to Burnley as Scott Parker's successor. Steven Gerrard is another candidate who's been much talked about. And Sean Dyche told us he'd understand why Stevie G would be keen.
I do think there'll be money available. I do think they'll retain some good players there. Certainly, with all due respect, Championship players who know the Championship and can do the job in the Championship, and they might bounce back stronger.
Meanwhile, Sheffield Wednesday should have a new owner by today. US businessman David Storch has flown over, but his £20 million takeover would still mean the Owls start next season on minus 15 points. And speaking of owners, Eddie Howe's recently met with his from Saudi and says he's confident both he and the club retain their backing.
Yeah, I mean, no change in terms of the support and the infrastructure and how people are working. So, yeah, I was pleased by the level of support given to me, but of course still understanding of how football works and know that we need to get results, so that will never change.
And Arne Slot says Alisson is nearly back to training while Milos Kerkez is dealing with a slight issue but should still be fit to face United on Sunday. There's more on all of this at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
A woman's been charged after a car crashed into a school, killing 2 young girls, and a man's appeared in court charged with the attempted murder of 2 Jewish men in North London. More with Sinead on all of that at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit, where we've got a wider range of premium tyres than Britain has rainy days. Visit your local centre or book at quickfit.com today.
Very warm day with spells of sunshine. Some showers will move eastwards throughout the day, affecting Western England and Scotland.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How do you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Lunchtime Laughter Inferno. Hawksbee and Baker on talkSPORT.
This is Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT. Where this afternoon, please tell us, Charlie, what's coming up?
Well, coming up over the next 3 hours, Stan Collymore's verdict on his old clubs Villa and Forest last night. We'll preview the return of F1 this weekend, and we'll build up to a massive make-or-break day in the EFL.
We will also welcome your Littler Farah sporting hypotheticals, and Dave Allen, the fine boxer who's got right in the middle of this, will be joining us to give us his take.
Yeah, smash him.
And the Manchester United supporting actors and pals, Ruth Little. Ruth Little? Ralph. Sorry, Ralph. Ralph Little.
Ruth Little's got some news for us by the sound of things.
It's a big day for Ruth. Ralph Little and Will Meller join us in the studio.
Yes, all this plus clips of the week, the Fools panel, and Nasty Man Nick's baseball from Little Girl in Todd Macklin's American Sports Roundup.
That does have a happy ending, that story, you'll be pleased to hear. So, anyway, more on that. I'm having a headphone issue at the moment.
I know, Paul.
Hence these, if you're watching on...
Rushing in.
If you're watching on... I can't even speak. Watching on...
Do you want to go home, Paul?
I think it's... Yeah. You head... Ruth Little, if you're washing on TV. For goodness sake, it can only get better, can't it? It's the nerves before Sunday night. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Charlie.
Afternoon, Paul. Late replacement today, and it's nice to come in and be with you on a Friday because clips of the week and
that's right. We got
Todd Macklin, all those
fresh batch for you today. We're going to bring you.
Paul, what do you think of this? I dropped my car off at my brother's on Sunday, and then because I had to get a train into town to do something, then go back to his.
Yeah.
And
like Ronnie Corbett.
this bloke,
the producer.
and
Where's it going?
I am said to.
Yeah.
No, this old man.
Was that Ronnie
It wasn't
Corbett?
bad. It wasn't bad, Paul.
David Rappaport.
Better than my.
Seen Time Bandits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of Rita. Anyway, this man said, "Would you like a lift to the station?"
Okay, that's
And
nice.
I'd never say yes. I'd never. I don't
Didn't
talk-
your
don't
mum
talk
and
to
dad tell you
strangers.
not to talk to
I
strangers?
said, I've got some kittens in the boot if you'd like a lift. No, he didn't say
No, he didn't. Didn't say
Anyway,
that.
I got in the car with him. Nice guy.
Yeah.
As I looked at him, I thought, actually, you're a bit older than I thought. And
Right.
and it turned out he was 94, Paul.
Wow, and still driving.
Yeah, and shouldn't have been.
Oh, no.
I think we nearly died about 4 times on this 2-mile trip to the station. And I thought, how would I explain? Who would explain this? Me in the car with a 94-year-old stranger.
It's what he would have wanted. That's the way he would like to have gone. In a head-on with a 94-year-old who shouldn't have been driving. He went out. He
Didn't
went
tell
out.
anyone I was getting in the car. It would have been over.
Imagine all the comics getting together. You heard about Charlie?
Yeah, it was just with the old.
So he got. Hang on. He
Oh,
got
was
in
it
a car with a
his
90.
granddad, was it? No.
No, just some bloke who. That's Charlie all over, isn't it? What a story in the wake afterwards. Everybody's having
Anyway,
a pint.
there we are. Just thought I'd tell you that.
My dad, in his latter years, his driving skills were slightly on the wane.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd get a lift from him, and he was kind of late 70s. And I'd be in the car, and like he'd be going, it was like Mr. Magoo.
Yeah,
He'd be going across lanes, and blokes going past in white vans, get over here, yeah. And he's oblivious, so he's saying to me in anyway. So I said to your mum, and he didn't know what he was doing. And
It's not good. I think there should be an age cut-off. I mean, I don't know. What am I on the right show?
yeah, sorry.
I'm on the wrong
Hopefully,
channel.
Yeah. Put him on an island.
There should be an age cut-off for driving,
you're
shouldn't there? Wrong show.
The studio down the road.
down the studio. Anyway, let's talk about football, Paul.
Let's talk about football. Wow, we got plenty of football to talk about. Well, they were going to have a chat about the game last night with Stan Collymore.
Right.
He was right across that. Of course, a Villa fan, former Villa player, and Nottingham Forest player as well.
It's
some
still
interesting talking points.
Villa were flat, weren't they? And it's still up for grabs. But what a save as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the other thing. Elliot Anderson and that save.
Yeah, Martinez. There were some big moments. Yeah, I mean, we were just chatting to. I did love Max Scott there, who's a Forest fan who was at the game last night. As he was, he could barely keep. He could not stop smiling. His face was in a rictus
Trying to
grin.
deliver bad news.
Yeah, as he
with
did
a big
his
smile on
bulletin.
his face.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll get. I know Stan had some interesting takes on it from what he witnessed. But of course, at 1-0, it is not over. No. So there's still plenty. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it ends up being 1-0 on 90 minutes and we have extra time and maybe pens next week. Palace, what about that?
Yeah.
Sensational.
Fantastic result for them. And
I mean, that's
them in the final.
You'd feels done,
you?
doesn't it? Yeah. I saw our old mate Bruce Millington from the Racing Post back in the day. Bruce took that chance and bought tickets to Berlin in January.
Did he?
For the flight.
Thinking they might get there.
For about 190 quid return. The same flights now, I think he said, is 960 quid or something.
Drive it. Get on the ferry, drive down. It's nice. Nice drive down to Germany. Be lovely.
Yeah, okay. Well, all right. Well, he doesn't
that's my
need
advice.
to.
No, not Bruce. I mean, if
to
anyone else, if the Palace fans are thinking of going.
The trouble is with something like the the demand is going to outstrip the amount of tickets there are going to be. You would think. Always they play these Conference League games. There's big teams in the Conference League. Big, well-supported teams, yet they often put them in stadiums that are like 25,000.
In the final, they get like 12,000 tickets or something, were they?
Yeah, I mean, I've not looked at where the ground is, but I don't know what allocation the teams are
But look,
to get.
Paul, we're putting them in the final. Many a slip twixt cup and lip, as they say.
Well,
so you don't want to be booking your seats if you're not there.
If you're a fan of old sayings, well, that's Bruce said that. He said, no, my luck, we'll lose the next leg 3-0. But there was absolutely no sign of that from the highlights I watched last night. Look, it wasn't a rout. And then that third goal, though, very good finish. And I do know what Glasner means. It was Kane-esque. He kept his nerve, he cut inside and just sort of stuck it in the corner. It's a cracking goal. Yeah. So good news for Palace. And you imagine he'll get the job done.
I wonder if Glasner's thinking, maybe I won't leave.
Yes.
I wonder if there's anything in him thinking that I'm having some real success here.
So, look, the other thing doing the rounds, we're going to get Dave Allen on. You may not have seen this. It's popped up in the Metro today. To be honest, I had not seen it on social media, but I know a lot of people had. It's one of these hypotheticals, a sporting hypothetical someone had come up with. This idea that Mo Farah and Luke Littler could go head-to-head in a half marathon.
Yeah.
Now, on the face of it, it doesn't sound like much, does it, really? You're fancying some Mo all day. The difference is that at each mile marker, you have to do a 5:01, end on a double.
Yeah.
Right? So that gives Luke a chance. Luke's weighed on it. I don't know if Mo has. And Dave Allen, fine boxer who fights next month in Doncaster against Filip Hrgovic, has kind of weighed in. He's reached out to both men. And he's got in the middle of it. He's made what was a hypothetical.
Well, he was asked the question and he really went in on it and broke it down into how quickly he thought Luke would be able to walk it. You know.
Well, Luke's already said that he probably would walk it. I mean, on that basis.
You know, Luke, I think get a bit of training in you, but you don't want it to ruin your balance
That's the trouble.
dart player, do you?
You see some darts players, they lose weight.
And it's not there. The arm goes.
The whole thing, the equilibrium. It's like a counterbalance.
Samson's hair.
Exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah. You know, you can't do it without it. It's like
I mean, we don't know how good Mo is at darts. I don't think he's had much to say about it, but we're guessing he's not great. Not for a 5:01.
Yeah, we don't know though.
Check it out.
No, maybe he'll keep that completely under wraps. No one will know until it starts.
But can't you see Netflix putting this on?
Oh, all day long. All day long.
Great, wouldn't it? I mean, I think if the
talkSPORT's eyes have lit up at
if the money's right for this, there's absolutely no reason why it can't happen.
Well, it'll be for charity, I imagine.
Yeah.
Or actually, seeing a lot of darts programs, it'd be for a speedboat.
It probably would be, yeah. Yeah, Mo, let's see what you would have won. Get Freddie on it. So we just wondered if you've got any other sporting, not the sort of gorilla and all that stuff, not the ones that everybody knows.
Not the ones we know.
If you wanted Wayne with another sporting hypothetical, put two great sports people head to head in a different environment where we might test them, then turn your attention to that this afternoon. And we'll do that for talksport.com/H&J. You can text to 81089. You can tweet to TSH&J, TSHANDJ, or give us a call, 03717 223344. And as we said, boxer Dave Allen will be telling us how he got right in the middle of all this.
I think I know who'd win, but I'll say my theory to Dave Allen and we'll see what he thinks, because he's obviously talked about it an awful lot.
We've got a Falls panel as well. We're going to be looking at all the big games this weekend. Arsenal-Fulham on Saturday evening, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Aston Villa Spurs on 7 o'clock on Sunday night. So they're the games we're covering. We'd like you to predict the scores of those matches. You're taking us on, Jim Proudfoot and Stan Collymore, for points in the Falls panel to move the talkSPORT listener, the panel beater, up the table. So we need our panel beater.
They're doing badly, aren't they, the listeners? In that?
They're not having a great time. So give us a call now. We'll call you back at 3:15. As always, we'll need you for 10 minutes. 03717 223344. That's 03717 223344. Yes, call us now. We'll call you back and we'll get you on at about 2:45 for your predictive skills. Will Meller and Ralph Little joining us in the studio. Ian Dancer will be here to look back at the conclusion of the EFL, which will all unfold tomorrow lunchtime on talkSPORT. Dave Allen, as we've said, SV Collymore on last night, and three of the boys from Loaded back in the day. They have a new podcast, Exploded. It is Bill Burrows, Tim Southwell and Ben Marshall, all big football fans, and we'll be chatting to them later, plus all your regulars and some new clips of the week. That's all to come with me and Charlie between now and 4. We're here with Tool Station. Check out their wide range of garden power tools with brands such as Bosch and Ryobi. Next stop, Tool Station.
It's not the first time that Jack's been caught up in off-field issues, if you can call this an off-field issue. Way back in March 2020, during the first COVID-19 lockdown, he was involved in an incident in Solihull, a car crash, 24 hours after urging fans to stay home on social media. He ended up pleading guilty to careless driving at the time. He was fined over £80,000. He was handed a 9-month driving ban after the incident. A year later, after a 7-0 win over Leeds, Pep Guardiola was said to be unhappy with the condition of both Foden and Grealish, turning up at a training session and not in the best of condition. After their treble win, we know that Jack Grealish was lionised by a certain section of the general public. He was on a bit of a drinking bender, but Pep seemed to be quite relaxed about it. If you fast forward to March 2025, he was spotted in Newcastle following an FA Cup win. He visited a social club in Washington near Newcastle on a Sunday. He was described as a total gentleman by locals. He posed for photographs, but then when he left the pub, he seemed somewhat unsteady on his feet. He looked a bit worse for wear. And Pep ultimately was asked about that and the sequence of events that led up to that.
They know what they have to do. So day off is day off. It's no training. They are a private life. They will do whatever they want. I'm not going to control what they do in the private life. So I judge when I have to see with the pitch, the training sessions, and the performance in the game. That's what I judge. I judge the players.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Hawksbee, Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. Some fresh clips of the week coming up at 3:30. But we're going to talk a bit of Newcastle and Liverpool now. We kick off talking Newcastle. A bit of uncertainty around the club with everything going on with PIF and the financing and Eddie Howe's position as the manager. Some people suggesting they could get sucked into a relegation dogfight. They ain't going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen, no.
But still, Eddie Howe's been speaking to the media ahead of the game at Brighton tomorrow. He was asked about his meeting with the club's hierarchy this week.
I've never needed clarity on my head in the sense that I'm here and I'm working and I'm committed, and that won't change. Obviously, the football club has to do what a football club has to do, and the football club has to see that we're going in the right direction and there's a positive feeling, and the team's fighting on all fronts to try and get results. I felt at Arsenal there's a real positive upturn in performance. We need to see that continue tomorrow. We know the importance of the game, but I always find with these things you can talk as much as you want. The proof is always in how the team performs, so I'm under no illusions that needs to be positive.
There we are, Eddie Howe chatting to the press earlier on today. Joining us now, former Newcastle striker,
hot player,
and Liverpool fan. I'm going to come on to Liverpool shortly. It is the great Mickey Quinn. Hi, Mickey.
Hello, Mickey.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Charlie. And I have an exclusive from that meeting for you two boys here live on talkSPORT now.
Here we go, Mick. Yeah.
Mafton Hall, they had the meeting with the PIF, and exactly what happened was Eddie Howe, Newcastle United manager, had a rare roast beef sandwich.
Nice.
While Jason Tyndall, his assistant, he had a fillet steak ciabatta. Only 2 hours later, lads, they shared a charcuterie board. So there you go, an exclusive, right from the mighty.
Look at that.
How are you getting this info, man? How are you getting the inside info on this?
There's a waiter
I've got
there.
my pulse on everything. Oh, sorry, my finger.
Mickey's got his pulse on everything.
You know the hotel well, obviously, I take it.
Sorry, Paul, I missed that.
I say you must know the hotel well. Have you done a few socials there or after dinners and stuff?
Beautiful hotel.
Lovely.
But just going back on a serious note, they do have to sort everything out because, all people keep asking me, you Eddie for, Eddie against, and I'm definitely for Eddie staying. I mean, one bad season. You couldn't even say it's bad. They got the last 16 of the Champions League, and knocked out by really good teams as well. So, I don't know. I'm all for Eddie to stay.
I just wonder if Alan Shearer saying, as he did recently, that he felt, Eddie probably wasn't going to be there next year. I mean, he didn't say he didn't want him to be there. He just felt he wouldn't be. I mean, you're saying your team, Eddie, but do you get a sense he probably won't be there next year?
I'd just be a massive rick if they get him. I think there's a shortage of top class managers out there, and he's a top class manager for me, a future England manager. And I just think, who are you going to replace him with? And I'm struggling to get my head round. I mean, someone said Jose Mourinho the other day. I mean, come on. I mean, how many clubs has Jose had? And he's had his time for me. He's still a great manager, but he's had his time in the Premier League anyway. So, yeah. I think they're going to struggle to get someone, I think, top class to replace Eddie. I might be wrong, but that's only my opinion.
I always think when he's asked those questions and he gives those answers, he does sound very relaxed and he looks very relaxed in his position.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like he's under any pressure. It doesn't seem like he's lying or faking it when he says, no, I feel fine in my job.
Yeah, that's a good point, John. And it must sort of transfer to the players there. They must feel, relatively secure in that. He doesn't look like a manager under pressure, does he?
No, and I think he's very good at that. Speaking to the press, looking relaxed, keeping a calm head when things are going wrong. And look, let's have it right. Things have been going wrong. I think they lost 5 out of the last 6 or something. And the 42 points, I couldn't believe it when I looked at the table the other day. 42 points. Someone went down with 42 points not so long ago.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
And they play a team tomorrow, Brighton, who... Again, they're a bogey team. Bournemouth and Brighton, Eddie's bogey teams. Absolute nightmare. And I think he hasn't beat Bournemouth since he's been Newcastle United manager. And Brighton, I think Brighton are unbeaten in 6 against Newcastle. So you don't want to be playing Brighton. They're an informed team.
The strikers, your old position, Mick. I mean, it was interesting, Visser basically saying I came back too soon after the injury and he wasn't right. He was obviously desperate to play, and sometimes I suppose it's difficult. Players going to say, yeah, I'm fine, I'm all right. But I mean, his form, he was so good at Brentford. It is hard to believe sometimes you're watching the same player. Like that miss at Arsenal, he buries if he's at Brentford.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't a bad signing on deadline day. And I thought if he can get back to full fitness, show us that sharpness. He sometimes terrorised defences, didn't he, when he was in his pomp? But I'm telling you now, I haven't seen anything close to that since he's been wearing the Newcastle United shirt. Whether he's lost half a yard of pace, which looks like to me, he looks very one-paced, but he's missing sitters, and that's not good. Even when you're not playing well, if you can bag a goal here and there, it just builds the confidence, you get back in form, and you're away again. But there's no excuses now, Paul, because he's, I could understand he's come back too quick, but it's a long time ago now since he came back from injury, and he's still not firing. He's still not looking as sharp as he was. And alongside Voltemade, who started well, but he's tapered off as well. They look like, I hate to say it, but 2 panic buys deadline day to cover Isak as a striker.
Yeah, I think that's my only criticism I'd have of Eddie Howe. I think that they seem to have let that whole striker situation from last summer and the signings they made and losing Isak
going on for too long.
They seem to have let that affect the whole season, and they've not managed that situation at all for me, Mickey.
I think it probably affected Eddie more than he thought it might have done, because I think he took it personally, because Isak basically went on strike, didn't he?
Yeah.
And you know, they had a good team spirit there with Isak and all the big players, Tonali, Bruno, so on. And then all of a sudden, you know, a top player turns his back, say he wants to leave, and you know, basically to win things with Liverpool. That's why he left. Yeah. So it's frustrating for Eddie, and when you're looking back at the season, I agree with you, Charlie. It probably affected him more than he thought it would at the time. And they've missed them goals. They've missed them 24, 25 league goals.
Yeah. Let's move on to Liverpool. We mentioned Isak. There's your team. They go to Old Trafford this weekend. And that's probably it from Mo Salah now. It's a pretty good chance you won't see him again as a Liverpool player. So they've got to step up, haven't they, the boys, and start to prove their worth.
They have. Again, another frustrating season for Liverpool and Arne Slot. But any Villa fans listening, Liverpool have had a poor season. Villa have had a great season. And yet, when I looked at the table, Villa fans, who were goading me earlier on in the season, Liverpool are above Villa. Can you believe it? No. But just on that, Mo Salah, what a legend of a player. We know he hasn't been the same towards the back end of last season, this season. But I've just heard an Arne Slot interview, Paul, and Salah thinks he can play before the end of the season.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
incredibly hard. Incredibly hard. It would be nice to see him one more time in a Liverpool shirt before he leaves, just to say his goodbyes, along with Robbo, who's been another Liverpool legend. But I think next season, lads, it's going to be a massive rebuild. If Arne Slot's going to stay there, which I think if they gain Champions League, which it looks like they are, I think it's a massive rebuild to, you know, get another Mo Salah, and then, you know, Robbo's just been brilliant.
Yeah. You're going racing now, understand me? You got runners this afternoon?
No runners. I've got plenty of pints to get down with.
I thought you were in a good mood.
Mick, could you grow your moustache back, please? Because my lookalike work's drying up.
You've got mine there, Charlie. You've got mine. Charlie, it makes you look old. If you shave that off, you look like me.
Yeah, I like looking like you, Mickey. That's in your pub. So many goals.
Yeah.
It's Guineas weekend, Paul, here in Newmarket.
Oh, yeah, lovely, of course.
That'd be nice.
It's a 3-day meeting, starts today, and then we've got the 2,000 guineas tomorrow and 1,000 guineas for the fillies on the Sunday.
Let's have your tip for the 2,000 guineas then, Mick. What do you fancy?
Well, it's been a winter, you know, when these 3-year-olds are all developing and so on, of injuries with a favourite here and there. But the one horse that's had the most clear route to the 2,000 guineas is George Bowie, local trainer, Bo Echo. It's about 3-1, Paul.
Bo Echo. Okay.
Put your mortgage on it.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Please gamble responsibly. Be gamble aware, obviously.
Have a good afternoon, Mick. All the best. Thank you.
Lads, good to speak to you again.
Just to reiterate, do not put your mortgage
No, don't.
Bo Echo.
Mickey Quinn said it'd be okay. But, yeah. So Bo Echo, if you fancy a pound each way or something, but 3-1. You're not going to see a lot back, are you, really? Anyway, it's Mickey Quinn, bit of Liverpool, bit of Newcastle. We're going to be joined by Will Meller and Ralph Little, actors and Manchester United fans later on. Of course, they take on Liverpool on Sunday afternoon. But what a massive weekend in the EFL. It's all going to unfold on talkSPORT tomorrow and lunchtime, of course, 12:30. And Ian Danter joins us to set the scene in a few moments' time.
Arsenal legend Martin Keown had this to say about that penalty being disallowed.
Let me guess. I simply don't think it was clear and obvious, and the referee there should be allowed to referee the game. VAR's got too involved, and that's not what we wanted with VAR. It's not part of the protocol, really, for me. Simeone, though, his actions to the sideline, and I mean the drama that he creates and the scenes around it. Referee, in the end, I felt buckled under the pressure, went to the screen and didn't stand by his decision. I don't even think he should have been made to go to the screen.
See, what is Martin on about? What is he on about? That's why VAR is there. That's the reason VAR is in place.
I don't think
to overturn clear and obvious. It's not a penalty. It's not a penalty.
Right,
will never convince me it is.
Let's go to Francis, who's Arsenal fan. All right, Francis?
Right, Franny?
Yes, good evening, Jamie and Jason. Yeah, I don't want to harp on the penalty. Look, ultimately we have to accept it. I think it was an incorrect decision, but we will accept it. What I do want to talk about, boys, is our so-called skipper, Martin Odegaard. I think he's been getting away with murder for the past 3, maybe 4 seasons. And even, lads, even before a single ball was kicked this season, our legend, Tony Adams, he came out. I'm sure you guys saw the quotes. He came out and he said, we can't win with Martin Odegaard leading the team. And it's no coincidence tonight.
Should VAR have intervened on that Elliot Anderson challenge on Ollie Watkins? Unai Emery didn't mince his words.
He could break his ankle. He could break his ankle. Wow, VAR, where are you? Please.
Emery accepted the other VAR decision, which awarded Forest the decisive penalty. The former Forest boss, Sean Dyche, told us the tie's not over at 1-0.
It's a tight one going back to Villa Park. They didn't offer as much as I thought they would, actually. Villa on the night probably should have come away with a clean sheet.
The return leg is next Thursday, live on talkSPORT. For the other English team in action last night, success again. Palace will come back to Selhurst Park next week with a 3-1 lead over Shakhtar. Here's Oliver Glasner.
Big win for us, of course, but it's just half-time. I think we defended very well today. This will give us confidence, but again, to mention it's just half-time, because I believe, honestly, we have to play better at Selhurst to get it over the goal line and go to Leipzig to the final.
Now, Declan Rice could be on thin ice after claiming the decision to overturn the penalty initially given to Eze at the Metropolitano was provoked by the fans. UEFA will assess whether he was questioning the referee's integrity. He got a 2-game ban 4 years ago for similar comments, but it wasn't handed to him until after that season. And Luke Littler's back on top of the Premier League of darts, surpassing Johnny Clayton after his 5th nightly win of the season in Aberdeen last night. Get more at talksport.com.
Now, tomorrow sees the regular EFL season come to a thrilling conclusion. There's still a lot of stuff up for grabs across the divisions. talkSPORT's going to be bringing you the best coverage from all 3 divisions. So with so much to play for, before we chat to Ian Danter, let's hear from Ollie Klink with all the permutations.
It's been a thrilling championship season, and coming into the final day, the race for both second place and the playoffs is all still to play for. Here's everything you need to know. At the top of the table, Coventry City can simply enjoy the occasion. The Sky Blues are going up as champions. They head to Vicarage Road to face Watford, though manager Frank Lampard has told talkSPORT his players won't act like they're already on the beach.
We will focus on Watford because we want to get as many points as we can. We want the travelling fans to see the team that has won the league play like a team like that.
With the title decided, the real focus is on the race for that second automatic promotion spot. Ipswich control their own destiny as they sit a point above Millwall. A win at Portman Road against QPR guarantees them Premier League football.
And Ipswich take one step, 1 point closer to getting back to the Premier League at the first time of asking.
If they fail to win, they'll be relying on Millwall, who host Oxford, and Middlesbrough, who travel to Wrexham to drop points.
It's the playoffs. We love it.
Meanwhile, the battle for the final playoff spot is going right down to the wire, and it will also directly affect the automatic promotion race. Wrexham currently just about holds 6th place on goal difference alone and host Middlesbrough in a huge clash. Hull City are level on points with Wrexham and are behind by just a single goal. Derby County sit just a single point behind them and will be hoping both drop points so they can sneak in by beating Sheffield United. As for relegation, Oxford, Leicester and Sheffield Wednesday are already down and preparing for League One next year. So that's everything you need to know ahead of this weekend's Championship final day.
Good stuff.
Thank you very much, Ollie. That's all the permutations. This Saturday on TalkSport, 12:30, you can hear live commentary of Ipswich QPR. TalkSport 2 has Wrexham Borough. And after that, we'll bring you Exeter City versus Bradford City in League One. We'll bring you all the goals they go in from around the grounds with Adrian Durham. Ian Dance is on commentary duty at Portman Road, and he joins us now. Hi, Dance.
Hey, Dance.
Afternoon, Paul. Afternoon, Charlie.
Should never forget the QPR's role in the Aguero moment.
Yeah,
they've got party pooper potential, haven't they?
I would say so. I still can't believe I was there on the weekend, last weekend, Paul, to see them lose to Queen's Park lose to Derby County. Rather, I don't know how they lost the game because they had 12 shots in. Zetterstrom and the Derby goal had a pretty good game, and Derby had 3 shots on target. All 3 went in, and they end up with the points, and they're still in the fight for the playoffs, as Ollie mentioned just there. But QPR will not be a pushover. They played some really nice stuff last Saturday. So, Ipswich should be wary going into this one that it's not an open and shut case.
They held their nerve at Southampton. Jack Clarke's late goal. This could be a massive goal, that you sense. But, that's difficult. Southampton are flying at the moment, and that was a very good point for them to put them in this position.
Hell of a squad, Ipswich.
Yeah.
They nearly won it.
Yeah.
Jack Clarke nearly. It was a fantastic save from Daniel Peretz to keep it at 2-2 right at the end. So it could have been promotion signed, sealed and delivered on Tuesday night. Not to be. So there is still, hope springs eternal if you're Millwall or if you're Middlesbrough. When you think about it, lads, Middlesbrough have been in the top 2 for 3/4 of the season. And here they are, looking at the sort of the way the goals have dried up a little bit in recent weeks. And they've still got a job to do against Wrexham tomorrow. And there is a scenario where Middlesbrough can do it. But it's the percentage chances of it happening and everything falling in their favour is low.
Yeah, I said earlier in the week, Dance, that if Wrexham want to throw off the Hollywood FC title, then they need to stop having Hollywood endings to the season and games, But that it's an amazing story. I know that people have, but for them to get back-to-back promotions all the time and to be in the mix again, as you know, with your beloved Birmingham City, you can't just throw money at it and hope it happens.
What they've done is their investment in players has been very shrewd and canny in terms of they've looked for off-the-peg, championship-ready players.
Yeah.
My club went in a slightly different direction and bought players in from abroad, which kind of worked, but not, clearly it's worked far better for Wrexham, bringing in players like Lewis O'Brien, Josh Windass, Kiefer Moore, to name but 3. And it's worked for Phil Parkinson. I actually thought when I did the commentary on their 2-0 defeat at Birmingham 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I thought, they look a bit leggy here, Wrexham. I wonder whether they might have gone. Not so. They roar back with 2 wins in a row, and here they are with this game against Middlesbrough, which is the TalkSport 2 commentary, I should say. So we're doing Ipswich QPR on TalkSport and Wrexham Boroughs going on at the same time on TalkSport 2. But we'll have a reporter on TalkSport. Matt Jones will be at the racecourse to update us during the course of that game. God, I'm going to lose weight tomorrow doing this shift. It's absolutely nuts on the day of the Championship.
In League One, top 2 are sorted, but Lincoln away, ole, or Tottenham away, as they like to sing at the moment.
It's going to be you in a year's time, Paul.
Yeah, I know. Fantastic. I could be worrying about that. But there's still up for grabs in the playoffs, isn't there? There's a few teams. Jack Wilshere's Luton are in there. Stevenage, Stockport.
Stevenage is a big.
Bradford and Plymouth all in
there. I mean, Stockport and Bradford should be okay on 74 points, but you're looking at that scrap between Luton on 72. Luton on 71, Stevenage on 72, and then there's Plymouth on 70. So they could overhaul both Stevenage and Luton. Plymouth are already relegated. Northampton. Luton go to Bolton, who are just trying to solidify their third place in the table, ready for the playoffs. And Stevenage are at home to Wigan, who've rallied from being in relegation trouble to be sort of mid-table. So yeah, lots of jeopardy there too. Although everything apart from one place is sorted at the bottom. That's why we're going to Exeter at 3:00 tomorrow afternoon on talkSPORT 2. Exeter and Leyton Orient battling to avoid the final relegation spot. It's in Leyton Orient's hands, who are at home to Burton Albion. But if Exeter can beat Bradford, then and Leyton Orient fail to win because Exeter's goal difference is slightly better, than the Grecians could stay up.
I don't want the O's to go. I like the O's. But you want the Grecians to go, don't you?
I'm indifferent to them. Absolutely indifferent. Don't even think about them. I mean, the Stevenage, Paul, if they go up and you go down, Spurs women's team used to play at Stevenage.
Yes.
Their ground, didn't they? So that'd be a league fixture next season. Tottenham v Stevenage.
Thanks for your support, boys.
He's just the man you need. He's just the man you need. It sounds like this, isn't he, Charlie?
You're going to have you're going to be a bit nervous about your game.
Very nervous.
Tomorrow or Sunday you're playing?
No, we've got Dorking at home tomorrow,
We'll preview that with Jim Proudfoot in the Force panel.
5,500 tickets sold.
Max will be worried about Cambridge United.
Yes.
Because they'll go up if they beat Crewe, won't they?
Yes, and that's going to be a very intriguing game. I think Adrian's there tomorrow at Gresty Road for that one. Salford are the other team. Well, I mean, there's a couple. I mean, Crawley at home to Salford, and Crawley have got problems of their own because they're only outside the bottom two of League Two on goal difference from Harrogate.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So, there's so much jeopardy on that final game. And then you look at Notts County, you can also catch them. They're at home to Bristol Rovers. So there's lots of jeopardy in there too. MK Dons and Bromley fighting it out for the title, effectively, for who's going to be the champions. MK Dons go to Fleetwood. Bromley at home to Walsall, who've fallen away 2 seasons in a row now when they look well placed. So, and at the bottom, there's 5 teams that can go down. Tranmere have been on the most horrendous run.
Poor old Nigel Botherway.
Yeah, Nigel Adderley, you mean?
Nigel. Oh, sorry, I do apologise. Yeah, other Nigels are available.
Love to Nigel.
Nigel.
Nigel's convinced they're going down.
I was thinking of Fisherman's Blues then.
Well, I mean, Nigel Adderley, I feel for Nigel. His tweets and posts have become increasingly more maudlin and desperate as the season's gone on.
Because Nigel also likes Cheshire United, so he follows National League South as well. So he'll often message me about that. But mainly it's a rundown of how Tranmere are the worst team of all time and are definitely going down.
So you've got Tranmere, Newport, Crawley, Harrogate and Barrow. And the big game there at the bottom tomorrow is Barrow, who are bottom of the pile, but they are at home to Newport County, who are managed by Christian Fuchs these days, the former Leicester title winner. And there's a way that Barrow can do it, but they've got to win handsomely and hope that
an 8-goal swing. It looks like, it's very different.
But Newport will, Barrow will want to keep the integrity of the league up. So Newport have got to be careful that they don't get overhauled by either Crawley or Harrogate.
Brilliant. Well, we'll be listening tomorrow, Dance. It should be fascinating. Fantastic afternoon's football. We'll keep you right across everything that's going on in the EFL, and you'll hear Dance alongside Natalie Sawyer and Dean Ashton for Ipswich versus QPR on talkSPORT from 12:30. Thanks, Dance. All the best.
Cheers, Dance.
Cheers, boys. Have a good day.
There we are. That's Ian Danta. Sorry, Nige. I had Nigel Adderley presenting Fisherman's Blues.
Nigel Adderley on the bank there for a minute.
I did. That's right. Yeah. Caught anything today? Anyway.
Just a couple of boilies.
Still to come. Stan Collymore joining us. He's going to reflect on the game last night between Nottingham Forest, both his old clubs, of course, and Aston Villa, the club he supports. We're going to be joined by 3 of the boys from Loaded back in the day, Bill Burrows, Tim Southwell and Ben Marshall. They have the Exploded podcast. A few old war stories. We'll remind you of one later on, but great old war stories from features they did and the history of the magazine and stuff. It's all the rage, isn't it? Well, with
it is.
Chris back
Oasis
on TFI.
Back. Oasis are back.
And Boxer Dave Allen to talk us through getting front and centre of the Luke Littler, some Mo Farah conundrum.
Quick text for you here, Paul. Dan the Stevenage fan's been in touch. I think this is for you.
Yeah.
Spurs under-21s play their home game.
They do, that's right, yeah. I should have
so we look forward to hosting both the youth and senior teams next season.
Yes,
Nice, isn't it?
and I look forward to. Well, it's not far from me.
Be a nice one for you.
Yeah, that's right.
Be good, Jamie.
It's going to be
Reid.
hard to get tickets because Tottenham's away support will be as immense as it usually is.
It's going to be great.
So people will still turn out.
I love it.
Getting tickets. It's hard enough to get tickets for games in
Be a home fan. Get a Stevenage season ticket now. You'd be able to go.
Yeah, that's right. Get the 2 games. Probably cheap enough to buy a Stevenage season ticket just for those. That one game. Yeah. Anyway, Will Meller and Ralph Little joining us next. We'll talk a bit of Manchester United and pubs as well. We'll be chatting about with the 2 actors. We're here with Tool Station. Get your toolbox essentials this spring with big savings on screws and fixings. Next stop, Tool Station.
Look, Jose will always live in Chelsea fans' heart, okay? Because what he achieved and what he done for that football club. But Jose changed as a man. As the game has changed, I don't doubt he still has a quality. But I just find it crazy.
What do you mean?
Well, they've gone from, Real Madrid have gone from moving away from Zidane, okay? Then they went to Ancelotti. And then they brought in Alonso, right? They wanted to go in a different direction, slightly, moving with this slightly younger head coach. And now they're going back to Jose again. They sound a bit lost. Sounds a little bit like they're going back to what they know.
Yeah, but I hear you. And Julian Lorenz made some really good points there. I think Jose Mourinho in a bad fit. I think they thought that they wanted to be they've got Galactico side, right, with players again with Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Bellingham, players like that, right? They wanted to have like an Alonso coach who can make them play football. And they realised these players have got big egos. And they always have when you're at Real Madrid. Real Madrid is full of egos. Ancelotti knew how to control them egos. Who is a manager who knows how to control big egos?
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho.
I'm not saying he doesn't tick any boxes, but he will leave.
Do you need to have brilliant tactics when you've got them world-class players?
No, well, Jose obviously knows his way around a tactic board. He's tactically.
He's not an idiot. Of course he's not.
But there will be that the wheels will fall off. And he's the sort of manager now that I just don't know whether he. I just think
Benfica are unbeaten this season. I know they're second, but they ain't lost the game.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. Now, you can say what you like about this show, but we never forget our old sponsors.
Absolutely.
We doff our caps to Ideal Boilers this afternoon. Of course, we love Tool Station.
You should have a sort of roll of honour, Paul.
We'll never forget our good friends at Green King. We'll come on to that shortly.
No.
And I remember many years ago, one of the sales bosses here said, we've been speaking to BMW. And me and Andy looked at him and said, well, have they started making vans? Highly sceptical we were. Anyway, yes, research by Green King suggests that 17 million adults in the UK, 31% now prioritise living near a good local pub over schools and other top searches. That's interesting.
Times are hard, Paul.
Yeah, they are. Right across this are actors and friends, Manchester United fans, Will Meller and Ralph Little. Good afternoon, guys.
Hello, lads.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good to see you both. So who's going to lead us off on this? Who spends more time in the pub? Let's have a guess.
I think Ralph.
I'm going Will.
Okay,
let's
find out.
Yeah, who would you say?
I feel like it's you, Will. I feel like it's you. You spend more time in the pub. Hey, do you know why? Because I've got kids.
Yeah.
People who've got trying to get away. People who've got kids need more of a break, and they need the pub. So so a local school and a local pub, vital.
Yeah, and
that stat that you read out, by the way, it's like people prioritise a local pub. Apparently, loads of people prioritise a local pub more than a good school catchment area. Yeah. And as someone with no kids, I've never felt prouder of my nation. Just love it.
Because you're right.
Fantastic.
That's the first thing that's normally said. Yeah, good schools in the area. Yeah. Even if you're on Rightmove, it tells you about the good school. It doesn't say where the pubs are located.
I think you should have to, although it'd be quite good, like with a good school, you have to go to the right church or something to get into it. They should do that with good pubs.
You think
you can't get into that one?
Yeah,
unless you know the right people.
You have to come to it for 6 months.
Yeah,
and then
we'll
you can have lunch.
In. Yeah.
Have you both? And the other criteria is you have to sit at the end of the bar with nurse a pint. You have to show that you're able to do that for 6 hours and just spout absolute nonsense. Yeah, fine.
And until that point, you can go and they can say, "All right, Will, the usual," and they get. I think Will
behind the bar.
Yeah, Will, have you got a pewter tankard with your name engraved on it in the bar in your local?
I haven't, right? But I actually used to work behind the bar in my local pub. And there was a guy at the end who would bring his own tankard in. And it was rusty. I was like, mate, get a new tankard. He'd had it for about 35 years. But no, that's what I love about the pub. The characters you meet, and another thing about a local pub as well is you can go in there on your own and you'll know someone in there. You can watch the match together. It doesn't matter what it is, any excuse to get out.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's good about what Green King pubs are doing. They're sort of encouraging everyone. It's good to have your local pub and get out there and see people and let off a bit of steam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ralph, what do you look for in a pub, Ralph? I see. I'm the opposite of Will there. I don't want anyone to talk to me. I'm quite happy. I'm happy to go in.
You're the miserable bloke in the corner. I don't want anyone anywhere near you.
I've got no opinions for a minute. I'm happy to sit there on my own with my own thoughts, questioning my life decisions, eating pork scratchings and having an ale.
When you sort of get together with your mates and you're like, oh, do you see that weird dude in the pub? The one who just sat in the corner all the time, never speaks at all. That's you. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, no, I love it. It's I feel like you have conversations there, and actually, mine and Will's podcast that has done sort of surprisingly well. It was a surprise to us. Has done really well, and it's better than we ever dreamed of, and has spawned a load of other shows that we get to do and work together and just have a laugh together. The DNA of it is very much kind of just sitting and chatting in the pub, like we did in 2 Pints the TV show. Then we did with the podcast. So with this partnership that we're in now with Green King Pubs, this really kind of suits everything that we're about, because our whole kind of thing, our whole vibe is to just, you can have, what I love about it is you never know what conversations you're going to have. That's what the pub's great for. You never know what kind of conversations you're going to have, whether you just avoid the miserable bloke in the corner, i.e. you, or you just get chatting to some randoms and just chew the fat and put the world to rights, and it's complete nonsense. But they're not the kind of conversations you have anywhere else. It's like a second home, which is what this whole idea is. It's about the sort of welcoming people into the idea of the pub being a second home and a community.
Beer therapy, I call it.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good turn of phrase.
Let's call it that.
There's going to be some pub warming parties in Green King pubs, also featuring Sean Ryder and Bez.
All right, yeah, sure.
So
yes, it's good. It's a quiet one, this one, lads. So,
yeah. What a job this is for you two.
Well,
I know. I'm going to miss that.
I mean,
hold on. You say you're not doing that one. I'm going to miss it because I'm working. I'm going to be on stage because I'm on tour with the play.
Oh,
Will isn't working, but is desperately trying to find an excuse to go to Manchester. It's on the 9th of May, Deansgate pub in Manchester, and Will is desperately trying to find a way to explain to his missus that he wants to go to Manchester to be part of this day rave.
Will's paying them to turn up.
Yeah. And me and Will are kicking off. So Green King pubs have got this, like I said, this second home scheme where, in sort of as we build towards the World Cup, they just want to kind of welcome people in and sort of get the pub season started. So they've got this second home campaign, and we're kicking it off with. There's a load of events over the next few weeks, and Will and I are doing a pub quiz at the Albert pub in Victoria this Sunday. First come, first serve. That promises to be a lot of fun as well. But tell them about the free pints, Will. That's the most important bit.
Well, listen, everyone who's listening to this right now, tune into this bit.
Yeah.
On Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, you can go to your local Green King pub and say the words, "I'm home," and you will get a free beer, a free pint, or a free soft drink. All you got to do is say the words, "I'm home," at your local Green King pub this Bank Holiday Monday. See how many you can get around in one day. That's the challenge.
Will's got a whole plan this morning. Will's just going to be in taxis from pub to pub to pub going, "I'm home."
Yeah. Let's have a bit of Manchester United before we let you go, Will. There's all this talk about Andoni Iraola. So it's this difficult situation there, isn't it? After what happened with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's very tempting just to give the gig to Michael Carrick. Where are you at the moment with that?
Well, I don't think we need to make the decision now, but the problem I've got with it is, if they don't give it him, the pressure on then to succeed next year. And what does success look like next year? I mean, we have to be challenging, right? I mean, we've got to definitely go far in the cup competition. I mean, you look at the stats since Michael Carrick's taken over, we'd be up near the top of the league. You know, we'd be right up there. I mean, I just think don't change it if it isn't broke. You know, don't broke. You know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. I think. Well, that's the word. We got it in the end. So I just got back from the pub.
I'm home.
I went there too early. I said, "I'm home," and he went, "Get out." But you know, it's true, isn't it? But it's one of them things. Yes, we've had all the experienced managers in, and it hasn't worked. So I love what's going on at Man United at the moment. It's got a great buzz about the place. The players look like they're enjoying their football again. Long may it continue. That's all I say, and give Carrick the job.
Do you agree, Ralph, as a fellow United fan?
Yeah, I'm pro Carrick for sure. I mean, I think, and you know, who knows? Time will tell. Maybe I'll be proved wrong or whatever. But I'm a bit of a romantic anyway. Like, I love the romance of football, and it's like Carrick, ex-player. It feels like the feel-good factor at the moment. I feel like the players respect him. I feel like he respects the players. And yeah, what more does somebody need to do to be given a shot? That's how I feel.
Just look at Kobe Mainoo. He was going to leave 6 months ago. I mean, look at him now. It just shows you the right man in the right job. I mean, he didn't do anything too drastic. He just put the right players in the right positions, didn't overcomplicate it. And look at him now. And yeah, I think once we improve the squad a little bit, I think we'll have a chance next year to put a bit more of a fight into challenge for the league.
Nice one.
Isn't it pronounced Cobby?
Is it Cobby or Colby?
I think
I don't know. I hope Michael Carrick gets that right. Otherwise, I've
gone down the Cobby route.
Producer says Cobby. So
yeah, I'm going for Cobby. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Sorry, Will.
Well done.
And
then maybe a bit more water in.
They were mates for years, and then they were on talkSPORT one day, and he picked him up, and they never
Cobby, and that was it.
Cobby made his pronunciation, and they fell out forever.
They never spoke again.
That Sweet Green King gig just dropped out.
Well, God.
Paul and Charlie started doing it.
They went to this pub quiz in Victoria. And started windmilling halfway through. Cheers, fellas. Have a good weekend.
Cheers, lads.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks. All the best. Enjoy your weekend.
Will Meller and Ralph Little there. So there we are. I'm home is the key phrase.
I'm home.
Monday, but please drink responsibly. What were Quinny and what were those guys?
I mean, we found the heartland. We found the heartland this afternoon, Paul.
Put the mortgage on a horse and just do a pub crawl saying I'm home. Anyway, It's Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. Some of the old loaded boys popping in, Bill Burrows, Tim Southwell and Ben Marshall. But Dave Allen joins us. He's weighed in on the great Mo Farah, Luke Littler half-marathon darts debate. And we'll be chatting to Dave and about his upcoming fight as well very shortly.
Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua. 03717 223344. Mohammed in Cardiff. Good morning. Where are you at with this then?
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Simon.
Morning.
Well, congratulations for your winning your award.
Thanks, mate.
But I think this is just another retirement paycheck for both of these fighters. 5 years ago, this fight would have been amazing. Both of them were in their prime. Both of them were world champions. It probably would have been a biggest fight in British boxing history. But now, Fury, you've seen a decline in his last fight. AJ hasn't been the same for a while. And it looks like it's just another big retirement paycheck for the both of them.
Yeah, but Mohammed, you'll watch it, right? You won't miss it.
No, I don't think I watch it, if I'm honest. Like, there's a fight on Saturday, Benavidez versus Ramirez. That's a fight
that's a proper fight, yeah.
You see, that's a proper fight. Wardley and Dubois is another fight. That's right. You know what I mean? There's jeopardy behind it. But this fight is just like Eubank and Ben. It's just another cop-out. Obviously, these two guys have achieved more than Ben and Eubank, but it looks like 5 years ago would have been great, but now I don't think I'd be wasting my time on watching it.
talkSPORT Sports Update powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles built around your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon, I'm Max Scott here with your sports headlines. Mo Salah will be fit to play for Liverpool before the end of the season and have his Anfield farewell from the pitch.
He's always working incredibly hard during the season when he's fit, but definitely also when he's injured, to be back as soon as possible. So we expect him indeed to be back in the final part of the season.
Arne Slot confirming that, but says he won't be fit to feature against Manchester United on Sunday. Meanwhile, Eddie Howe says Newcastle Saudi owners are very much still committed to the project. He was asked if his meeting with them has given him more clarity over his future.
I've never needed clarity on my head in the sense that I'm here and I'm working and I'm committed. I felt at Arsenal is a real positive upturn in performance, but I always find with these things you can talk as much as you want. The proof is always in how the team performs, so I'm under no illusions that needs to be positive.
Gabby Ogbonlahor has admitted Aston Villa weren't good enough to get a result last night, but cannot get his head around how Forest's best player managed to stay on the field.
No one can tell me that watches football week in, week out, that's not a red card. Did he get the ball first? You can argue yes, but we've seen so many players get red cards in the last 2 years. When you follow through and you hit a player like that, how can the referee not be told to go to VAR? Baffling.
Forest travel to Villa Park with that precious 1-goal lead next Thursday live on talkSPORT. Now we're told Craig Bellamy is reluctant to vacate his Wales job in order to join Burnley as Scott Parker's replacement. Stephen Gerrard, we understand, though, would be keen on the role. And we understand Sheffield Wednesday should have a new owner in place by today. The £20 million takeover by US businessman David Storch is at the final paperwork stage, but Wednesday will still start next season on minus 15 points as it stands. There's more on the website at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
A woman's been charged after a car crashed into a school, killing 2 young girls, and landlords raised concerns about new reforms to renting. More with Sinead at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. You can't trust the weather right now, but you can always trust Pirelli tyres. In stock now at your local centre. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
Very warm day with spells of sunshine. Some showers will move eastwards throughout the day, affecting Western England and Scotland.
Good afternoon. We've got a Falls panel coming up. We're going to try and predict the scores of Arsenal versus Fulham, Manchester United versus Liverpool, and Aston Villa v Spurs. And we'd like you to join in and try and predict those scores. Take us on, Stan Collymore, and our commentator Jim Proudfoot. 03717 223344. That's 03717 223344. We need you in about 40 minutes for 10 minutes. And you can get some points for the panel beaters. Stan will join us to look back on Forest Villa last night. Before that, to cover a bit of ground, he's got a big fight coming up in his hometown of Doncaster. And he's also weighed in on quite a big debate that's gone viral around.
Well, he's got the debate to go viral himself.
He has, really.
He's the king of the debate.
It was quite low level until Dave Allen, the fine British heavyweight boxer, weighed in. Good afternoon, Dave.
Afternoon, mate. How are you?
Yeah, we're
Very
good,
Dave.
So people are out there online. I think it was on Reddit it started. People said, what would happen then if Luke Littler and Sir Mo Farah had a half marathon? Well, everybody just said, well, Mo would probably win. But then they chucked in this idea of 5:01 out on a double after every mile. And suddenly the debate started to rage.
Dave's taken this on and run with it. And there's also, you've done all the stats. You've run the numbers, Dave, haven't you?
I was impressed. What made you get involved, Dave? What was it?
Well, I started a TikTok account last week, Team White Rhino, if anyone wants to follow it. And what happened is, someone asked me the question. I'd never heard the question before. I'd never been on Reddit. Right. I'm not really a massive watcher of things, or I don't really get out very often. So when I first heard this question, I thought it was the best thing I'd ever heard in my life.
Question,
I thought, this is an unbelievable question. I thought, whoever's made this question up is a genius. So what I did is I got the question and I just thought, you know what? I kind of know Luke Littler. I've met him a few times. He's a really nice fella, he is. And I thought, I'm going to message Luke Littler now and say, look, what do you think? He came back to me, gave it the big un, said he'd do it no problem. So then I thought, for some reason, I just thought, you know what? Let's get Mo Farah messaged.
Yeah.
I don't know Mo at all, but I messaged him a couple of times. He never replied. Oh. So then I got the Eminem lyrics to Stan, you know, like where he's saying, like, you need, why not replying to me kind of thing. So, and then Mo Farah's obviously read them and thought, this is a weird guy, I better reply. And now they're both on it, and hopefully we can get it over the line and it can actually happen, because everyone's like, oh, I wonder what would happen if this happened or that happened. Wonder no more. White Rhino Sports Promotions is here, and I'm going to make it all happen.
Does White Rhino Sports Promotions exist currently, or will you set it up just for this?
Yeah, not yet, it don't, but it might if this comes, if they get this off the ground, yeah.
There's talk of you putting yourself in the mix as well, Dave, which I think is a great shout, because I think you'd win that.
What about if they've got to go around with you halfway? So after 6.5 miles, they have to go around with Dave. Like, not heavy duty, just keeping it arms aloft. Tap him about a bit.
6.5 rounds in, that's the problem. It would end. I'd just end it there and then. But I would be interested in joining in. I do think I'm a better runner than Luke Littler, and I'm a better darts player than Mo Farah.
Wow.
Obviously, I'm not a professional at either sport, but I would fancy my chances of actually beating them both, because I am half decent at both sports.
Wow, that's good.
So, and the average dart player, put it into AI.
Yeah.
And the average dart player, who's just started playing,
to
a 3 dart average for a casual pub player is 40 to 55.
Right. Okay.
Right. That is your 3 dart average.
So it's going to take them a while.
So it's going to take you 30 to 34 darts,
and you got to end on a double,
and then you got to end on a double, which
if you
normally
watch the TalkSPORT darts competition, it goes on for hours,
and that normally takes 6 goes on average. So you're looking at 40 darts for a casual pub player to get 5:01.
Right. And Mo Farah doesn't look like someone who casually goes to the pub to play darts.
No. So but I think underestimating how fast Mo Farah actually is at a half marathon, and I'm giving Luke Littler a 2.5 hour half marathon. What do you think?
I think between them two it'll be really close. I think one is one of the greatest long distance runner of all times. The other fella probably he's up there as one of the greatest darts players of all time already. But now I've thrown my own cap in the ring. Like waist down, I'm a long distance runner. Waist up, I'm a darts player.
Wow.
So
I think you're the hybrid. You're the ultimate hybrid. Yeah,
you are.
I think so, yeah.
That's what you're a double threat, Dave. That's what it is.
I'm not even going to be the promoter no more. I might just get involved and do it myself now. I'm really fancying it.
Just sell it to Netflix and then just step away. Get a few quid and step away. Let them do the work. That's so. Let's talk about your fight coming up with Filip Hrgović. Not long now, is it? A couple of weeks?
You look fit, Dave.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about it, to be honest. The last couple of days while this has been going off, someone said to me, "It's not long for your fight now," and I thought, actually, it's not even that long at all. I totally forgot about that. But I'm boxing 2 weeks Saturday, my local football ground against one of the best heavyweights in the world. I'm living the dream. I'm in great shape, and I'm just going to go over there, enjoy it, give it my best, and it's a real. I'm a big outsider, but I like that. It's a bit of a rocky moment, getting this shot from nowhere at the big time. But I plan to take it to both hands and get the result.
Should be a cracking atmosphere, shouldn't it, in your own backyard like that?
Yeah, we're hoping to get 10,000 plus in there in Doncaster. Doncaster's what word would I use for Doncaster? Rowdy. You can get rowdy in Donny. So the atmosphere will be great. I'm going to ring water to Frank Sinatra my way, as I always do. Great, yeah. I anticipate that will go down a treat, and then, then one of Doncaster's own. Cause I'm a proud Doncastrian. Yeah. Gets to go one-on-one, one of the best heavyweights in the world. To really change my life. So I know the people at Doncaster will be there to support, and probably the biggest sporting event the city's ever had.
Yeah, that's on the 16th.
You do look fit, Dave. Have you changed your nutrition at all? I think last time we spoke to you pre-fight, you were on the pork belly and ice cream. Is that still the case?
That's gone now. Yeah, I eat like chicken, and the other day I got some broccoli, put it in the blender with a bit of water. Yeah. So I've been on the old blended broccoli diet, and I feel phenomenal. Actually, I feel as good as I look. If people want to know how I feel, just look at me, because that's how I feel.
Guy, Dave.
A quick one on Fury AJ. Looks like it's finally going to happen. You went in with Mac McDowell not long ago. What did you make of Tyson's performance against him recently?
I thought for the time he was out the ring, I thought he performed well, really. I thought he did okay. I didn't think it was his best performance, but Father Time waits for no one. And Tyson and Anthony Joshua, they're both in the late 30s. They both had long, hard careers. We're not going to... The winner of this fight for me isn't going to... It's not about who's the best. It's about who's got the most left in the late 30s after a hard career. Yeah. He's still going to make loads of money. It's still going to be the biggest fight in British boxing history. But for me, as a real boxing man, it ain't the fight would have been... It's not the fight would have been 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. No. But we still want to see it. We still want to see it because it's still good for the sport. It'll still bring massive eyes. Probably sell Wembley in 5 minutes. We want to see it.
It looks like they're both going to have another warm-up fight. Tyson's saying he wants another warm-up fight. So who wins it, Dave, finally? Who wins it for you?
I think the best Tyson Fury would be the best Anthony Joshua. But again, it's guessing games because we don't know what they've got left. Tyson had one fight in 18 months. Anthony Joshua had the Jake Paul, thing. Yeah. But apart from that, the last time we watched was Dubois in 2024. So it's a guessing game. But I hope it happens. I hope they both make a lot of money and they come out unscathed, and hopefully they do it for all the boxing fans that have wanted this fight for a long time.
Absolutely. Well, Dave, all the best against Hrgović. Good to talk to you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You know what's going to happen, Dave, Paul? Hrgović at the weigh-in, they're going to be there, tough talking, and Hrgović going to say in his ear, thing is, I think Littler won't be able to run fast enough.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Or they're in the clinches, and he's saying, but 501 end on a double if you're not a darts player.
Feels like a lot of darts.
Get off me.
Dave.
Once it gets in your head, it's hard not to give it too much thought. I do like the way Dave's inserted himself
into it. Yeah, I think he'd win it.
Because what a beautiful description from Dave. Above the waist, I'm a darts player, but below the waist, I'm a long-distance runner.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Two different people.
Good
different stories.
We wish him well against Hrgović in a couple of weeks. Maybe Frank can put it on. Queensbury, isn't it? Maybe he can put it on.
White Rhino. It's White Rhino Entertainment.
Sure, Matchroom would be delighted to work closely with them as Luke Litter gets on board. Just give it to Netflix. We'd all watch it.
Yeah,
wouldn't
we'd all be watching that.
Who would not watch Mo Farah stopping after?
Maybe the PIF fund want to get involved now they're out of Live Golf.
Yeah.
They're getting into the darts half marathon market.
That's it. That's the way it's going to work.
Do it in Dubai, Paul. Then you got the heat.
Oh, that's a great.
Well,
that won't be a problem for Mo. He does a lot of altitude training, doesn't he?
You know,
so he'd walk it. It'd be a tougher. He'd have a bit of a dab on Luke, wouldn't he?
That's the other thing. You got to choose where you're going to. What's the climate going to be?
Yeah.
Going to do it at altitude?
I wouldn't think so. No, that's a good idea. Throwing up as well, passing out. What's wrong with you? You're a sick man, Charlie. Anyway, Bill Burrows, Tim Southwell, Ben Marshall, all fine foot soldiers, and the man that actually Tim Southwell co-founded the magazine have been reliving their days on Loaded Magazine, the Exploded podcast. They're all big football fans as well, and they're popping in to see us shortly. We're here with Tool Station. Explore the full collection of garden power tools with top brands such as Karcher and Makita. Next stop, Tool Station.
Whatever happened to the traditional cagey semi-final affair? The first leg of this semi-final, the highest scoring of any in Champions League history. Now, on Amazon, Vincent Kompany spoke post-match, and he tried to describe what we'd just seen.
Yeah, I would say, well, what do you want? Do you want teams that... I think you've seen a lot of good defending today. Intense duels and this, but it's just the margins are so little, and you only have two ways. So the first one is to go full, or the second one is to retreat fully. The in-between doesn't work against that level of players. The in-between doesn't work against our level of players.
Well, Vincent doesn't exactly see it as Wayne Rooney saw it. We saw some good defending. Vincent, what? Wayne Rooney, at this level, we have seen some brilliance, but we've seen some immature defending, which is crazy. He's not wrong, Dan.
There was some poor defending, yeah. But the problem you've got is when you play the way those two teams do, you're going to isolate people 1v1. And you can call it poor defending or you can just call it brilliant forward play. It's nearly impossible if you're one-on-one with someone with electric pace and good skill, because they can go both ways, to stop them. Kravitz F1's goal, for example, or when you've got Elise one-on-one, you're in a world of trouble. So, I think rather than focus on whether there was good or bad defending, what I enjoyed most is that styles make fights. You've got two teams who think they're the best.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. I'm taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Now, some of the boys from Loaded magazine have come together to bring you a new podcast.
Yeah.
It's called Exploded. Some great old war stories and memories of their time on the magazine. The co-founder Tim Southwell, Bill Burrows and Ben Marshall, contributors to the publishing phenomenon.
Yeah, I'm surprised they can remember any of it.
Well, I think it's a lot of it's all crazy. And they're closer. You get your boys slightly closer to the mic. They've all joined us in the studio. Good to see you, fellas. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to be here, as always.
Whose idea was this originally? Who said, let's get the band back on the road, the Blues Brothers moment?
I think that documentary that came out on the BBC got us all talking again.
Yeah.
After years and years of not talking about it. And then it became a kind of chat. Me and Bill were just going on about what we should do something. What is it? And we've been working on sort of ideas for like a TV drama and stuff over the years. And then suddenly this idea of podcast could happen because it's relatively cheap to do and you could just get on with it. And then suddenly it became a proper idea, didn't it?
Yeah, but part of the thing is to rescue the reputation of Loaded because it's had a kick-in over the years. And we only talked about it. It disappeared off our CVs. It was such a massive thing.
Yeah.
We were so proud of it, you know. Tim, co-creator, and me and Ben were editor-at-large. And we were there from the start, you know, and we didn't really talk about that much in terms of work-wise because it was seen to be some kind of negative influence on men growing up. But it was the opposite of that. It really was. And so after that documentary, we thought, OK.
I thought, Ben, the thing was that some of the other magazines that came afterwards and the way that men's market went, you got slightly sullied by some of that other stuff that happened afterwards that had nothing to do with Loaded.
I mean, it's very peculiar, actually, when you start going through the old issues and you realise just the kind of strange stuff we were covering. I mean, you know, everything from, you know, people just assume that it was a sort of... that it was a kind of lads mag. We covered things like the Dublin Poetry Festival. We covered Tory party conferences, Labour Party conferences. There's such a huge variety of things. Essentially, we did operate upon the philosophy of if we were interested in it, we were kind of arrogant enough to believe that if we were interested in it, everyone would be interested in it.
It was very sexy, though, wasn't it?
There was a bit of that as well.
Yeah, there was a bit of that.
Well, I don't think you can't underestimate the cultural significance of it. I mean, I was in my 20s when it came out, and it was probably aimed at me at that time. And there was nothing like it. I'd call it the last great print magazine that was launched, you know, and it drove that on. You know, it gave you something to read that wasn't The Face or GQ. You know, so it gave you there are the sorts of men out there who can't afford a 20,000 quid watch.
And the phenomenon was how quickly it grew, how quickly it took off. There was no like little bit of word of mouth. It went from 0 to 100 in 10 minutes.
It must be really interesting for you, Paul, because you were in the next office
door. I had a ring
for 90 minutes. So you were basically watching this mad thing kind of go from zero to something very significant, as you say, quite quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and it took everybody by surprise.
Didn't it? You know, because Ben went on to work for GQ, I went on to work for Esquire, but really that moment was something else. It was never been replicated. It looked like a different magazine. It looked like something that it was only from a different planet.
Yeah,
and
it was. We've always said it was like a national fanzine. We all had fanzines. And we all poured into it. You know. The whole countrywide thing.
We're going to play a little clip. Good. There was some we couldn't play. Some of the stories probably not right for this time of day. But this is football related. I've not had it back yet. The guys have selected it. It's Pep related. So let's give you a flavour of the Exploded podcast.
Sell me the cover. Which is where you guys come up with a pitch for the cover if the magazine was out today.
Yeah, I've got one. If you want to start.
Yeah, Bill, you go first.
Pep
Guardiola.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because not just because I'm a City
Interesting.
fan, because he has totally changed, revolutionised football.
Yeah.
And he's a good-looking bloke. He's got it all going on. He's funny.
He's quite good at being famous, isn't he?
He is quite good at being famous. You know, he's seen running around town on his bike or, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
plays golf.
Yeah, likes his golf.
He's a serial winner and also produces amazing football.
And I also think he's one of the few. I mean, I always set the benchmark for football managers as Brian Clough, and I think Clough privately would admit that Pep was the bee's knees.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd say it publicly, but I think he'd admit that, you know, and take him away from the football, which we did with a lot with sports stars, and say, right, we're going to talk about everything else.
You could see him in a really amazing shoot, like white shirt, unbuttoned.
Yeah.
Just looking the business.
Yeah.
Have you seen what he said today? I have to paraphrase it because he got a bit sweary in the press conference. They asked him why he went to Stockport the other night rather than watching the Bayern PSG game, and he said, well, I looked at that and I thought, poor managers, terrible players. I like English football. I'll go to Stockport. That's the sort of stuff. That's a good pull-out, isn't it?
A great sense of irony.
Yeah.
That's why you would be added. All that segment here is what we would put on the cover if it was still going today.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing like it.
So who have we had so far? Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
You wanted to put George Galloway on, didn't you?
I wanted to put Scott Galloway on. Can I please correct everyone? I did not want to put George Galloway. Scott Galloway is quite fascinating American millionaire who says interesting things, right? It's not George Galloway.
What about Scott and George Galloway together at last?
That would be interesting.
They could do that, couldn't they? Could redo this cover.
Yeah, that's the cover with exactly.
It was Pamela Anderson was another person. What's interesting to me about when you go back through the old issues is that there will be, in every single issue, there will be someone that was in that issue that's as relevant today as they were back then.
Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman's classic.
On the first one.
Damon Albarn.
Vic and Bob you had on the
Vic and Bob,
Well, the magazine was the zeitgeist as part, but also everything you touched was the zeitgeist.
It's amazing how many of them are still relevant today, like Gary Oldman in Slow Horses.
Yeah.
What we've been doing is we've been mocking up the covers as though it exists today and putting them out on social media.
Yeah.
And people have been loving them. People actually think the magazine's coming out. Which is great.
Yeah, I think that would be bold, bringing out a big, expensive print mag nowadays.
It would be very bold,
See how the podcast goes, if there's any spare cash.
Now, your Leeds, Tim, you've been on before, it's all Leeds.
Yeah.
Ben is Chelsea, and Bill is City, and he's been on the station.
By the way, Tim, you owe me a tenner.
Yeah, exactly. Let's have a change
the podcast. I bet Ben, obviously, that Leeds would beat Chelsea. Tenner. There you go.
I feel bad taking
That's the world's biggest sports radio station.
City-Chelsea final.
Hold up. Keep it for
Bill and I used to have a bet every year who would finish higher, Spurs or Manchester City, and that was a tenner, but as soon as the money came in, we ended.
We should have had a bet. We should have had a bet at the start of the season. Spurs and Leeds.
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting that to happen.
Bet who's going to come higher, Spurs or Stockport?
Stockport right up there.
Leeds tonight, you must be confident they'll get it done. You think that'll be it then? I mean, they're more or less home and home.
I just worked out Spurs can get 46 points if they win all their games.
Yeah,
and we're on 40.
And then again, and possibly that might not happen.
Yeah. So I think a win tonight and maybe a draw in the last 4 games, they should be safe. But I still don't think it's over and done with at all. I mean, Spurs could go on and win every. I know,
the runes are not good on that front, but it is possible.
Right? Yeah.
Playing Villa at a good time, though, Paul.
Yeah,
potentially.
Yeah, I think so.
Can we briefly mention the possibility of Millwall potentially being in the Premiership?
Yeah,
because I would like to see West Ham remain up.
Yeah.
And not going well, is it for you?
Get in. I think Millwall in the Premiership would just be fantastic.
Brilliant.
I think a lot of Millwall
liven things up.
Deserve it.
TalkSPORT listener,
absolutely.
Phil Clark was a Millwall fan. He said it would be typical that Millwall come up and West Ham and Tottenham go down. We know that's not going to happen now.
No.
They want the opportunity to play them all. Bill, City, you're going to hunt the Gooners down. You think definitely going to do it? You got a tougher run in, though, haven't you?
I texted you in January. I said you're going down. We're going to win the title.
Yeah, thanks.
I didn't hear back.
Let's come and beat Paul up.
Yeah, this is great. I really.
I've been waiting for this since 1981. Come on.
Yeah, true.
That's true. Yeah, what a game that was. Yeah. And how you feel about Chelsea? It's all a bit mad, isn't it? At the moment?
I think we've been atrocious the last We've been terrible, but. Hopefully we will kind of the last half hour was great.
The good news is, from what we understand from our contacts, they're going to be bringing in older players with Premier League experience. You're going to see a very different Chelsea
in there, don't they?
Some grown-ups.
Boys,
some grown-ups.
We have run out of time, so Exploded.
Yes.
It's loaded with the it's not exploded.
Fantastic.
There's an A in it.
Yeah.
And where can we find it?
Well, we bring it up to date as well with a thing called Planet of the Vapes, which is where we talk about what it's like being in our 50s and 60s and trying to deal with Gen Zs and stuff like that.
Right.
Interpret. Yeah. So it's on YouTube and it's on
Spotify
and
Apple.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Please
Amazon
have a look and subscribe. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And Tim, your book "Getting Away with It" is out there as well.
It is. Yeah.
Holding it up to the camera. Kindly give me a copy. That's very kind.
Fellas, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Kind of you,
Much appreciated.
Tim Southwell, Bill Burrows, and Ben Marshall. Exploded. EXPL. Oh, obviously loaded. You know it's loaded. Spelled, and you can find it wherever you get your podcast. SV Collymore joins us next. He was watching with interest two of his old clubs battle it out, and the club he supports, of course, in Aston Villa. And they went to the City ground and lost 1-0. What did Stan make of it all? We'll find out shortly. Lincoln City celebrated their title win this weekend. Decided this is the big moment to mock Spurs.
What? Oh my God! up the imps. Up the imps. Jay, Tottenham away, ole ole. That is shameless.
I don't know where to
Tottenham.
go.
Do you know that game now has been built up to something? Right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's been a thing because of you. Because of you.
There's nothing to do with me. I'm not.
No, it is. It's because of you. You made it a
I'm
thing.
not playing centre off Spurs.
It's just who we are,
It's not my fault you're there.
It's a killer. It's a killer. Lincoln away next season.
Mate, don't knock the imps, mate. Up the imps.
Lincoln away.
Ole, ole.
It's a killer. It is.
Can you imagine Spurs start singing Lincoln away, ole, ole?
Well, you know what? We're going to have to. Maybe we're going to have to.
No, Jay, get out of it, mate.
Do you think we'll get out of it?
Jay, I've been saying all along you'll get out of it, right? You'll find a way. I cannot... Look, it's a straight shootout between you and West Ham. Up your hands. Straight shootout, mate.
I can't see it.
I
can't see it.
No, it is a straight shootout between you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but West Ham are decent.
Mate, they've been decent.
They've been all right.
Look, you picked up your first victory, right? Roberto De Spurzi.
At what cost? Solanke and Jamie Simmons out. Season over.
Patch them up, get them out. You got Bergvall back. Bentancur's back.
The Bentancur was good.
Right, okay, so you got them back. Stop moaning.
Let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. Something like this?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision.
It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top level of football refereeing? You can apply to become a referee through your local county FA from as soon as your 14th birthday. After spending several hours either in the classroom or on the pitch, they'll grant you Level 7 status, which allows you to officiate amateur games. Then you'll work your way through the ranks of amateur football, not reaching the National League until Level 2. It's a long process, bearing in mind every level from 7 upwards takes an average of a year. Also, there's no specific number of games you have to ref or hours you have to log before moving on up. You simply just have to be good enough. Once you're Level 2 and have enough experience at a National League level, you can apply to the EFL to become a Level 1 referee. Then it's on you to get enough experience to climb through the ranks and eventually become a Premier League referee. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough to officiate games in the top flight. So if you want to make it to the top, there's less than a 1 in 1,000 chance of doing it, and it'll take you a decade to get there.
Before we chat to Stan Collymore, let's hear from Unai Emery, who spoke to the media after the 1-0 defeat to Forest in the Europa League semi-final first leg. Wasn't best pleased with Elliot Anderson's tackle on Ollie Watkins going unpunished.
Huge mistake, because Ollie Watkins was close to break his ankle. He must give us one explanation about it, because it's crazy. Watching the action is crazy. Of course, the referee can't watch it like me, can't watch it. But one action like that, not make sense because it's so clear. It's not doubt. Where is the doubt? Where is the doubt watching the action? Where is VR? Where is? Where is VR? Where is the referee? Oh, crazy. Okay, keep going.
That is box office. I hadn't seen the clip. It was amazing, wasn't it?
I liked him.
Stan Collymore joins us, Villa fan and former Forest player. Good afternoon, Stan.
Afternoon, chaps. How are you?
Yeah, are you raging like that after that?
Arteta's fuming. He's raging.
Challenge. What did you make of it? Was it?
No, I mean, look, in a Premier League game, that probably would have been sent off. It's interesting that the Portuguese referee, and his assistants, all Portuguese, I thought they were very good. I think that he basically walked into the City ground and went, in England, they expect the game to flow and they expect challenges to go in. And I think he did that, which actually kind of shocked a lot of people because a lot of people were thinking, oh, this is going to be refereed differently. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. So I think the referee overall did a very good job. In terms of the Anderson incident, if I'd have been on the end of it, I'd have been going to the referee saying red card. If I'd have gone in for the challenge, I'd have said it was hard but fair. The referee thought it was hard but fair. But I have some sympathy with Unai Emery because on any given day, that could have been given as a red. But also, I can see the referee's point that it wasn't. So I certainly don't think it was the main driver of the game, in which Forest did what they've done in recent weeks, which is they have to scrap if they're going to stay in the Premier League and stay in this European tournament. And Villa, which from a pundit's perspective, last night I was trying to tweet purely as a pundit. So it was like, take your Villa glasses off, take your association with Forest away from everything and look at it. And Aston Villa, as a pundit, they're labouring. And if I'm a pundit and I look back through my notes and think Villa played in a cup semi-final, which I was at against Crystal Palace, didn't show up. The argument was, amongst a lot of villains that day, bottled it against Crystal Palace at Wembley. Played Olympiacos. Olympiacos were not a better technical team than Aston Villa in the Conference League semi-final. Lost over 2 games. Suggestion was they weren't quite up to the fight. And I think that Villa yesterday were tepid, as has been recent performances. And purely as a pundit, if they go into that second leg at Villa Park and play anything less than games against Arsenal in recent seasons at home where they won, City that they won, Bayern Munich that they won, Paris Saint-Germain second leg that they won, they were very good. They're going to get knocked out. And then the argument will be levelled at Unai Emery and his team is 99.9% a very, very good technical team. 1%, 0.1%, do they bottle the biggest games? And I think that's a very fair accusation right now today to level at this Aston Villa team.
You had some, I was looking at your tweets, Stan, last night, and there were some real home truths to some pretty big players, including Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, I mean, I think I basically did an England watch because I'm getting ready, to go out to the States to watch England and support all of these players, whoever they play for, whether it be Jude Bellingham, that we hope has a good tournament, or Declan Rice might be going as a double winner, Champions League and Premier League. I want them to all play well for England because I think that it's important for English football that we've got this amazing product that is the Premier League and the pyramid, but the national team keep falling short as well. And so last night I looked at the England players and the England players alone. I thought Elliot Anderson, again, save for the fact that he could have been sent off, I thought he's a 10 out of 10 starter for England. Rolls Royce of a midfielder. He will give you what he gives you 10 times out of 10. Unflustered, passing good, combative, excellent. Morgan Rogers gets on the plane, but we've gone from being almost a sort of starter and people saying it's got to be Rogers ahead of Bellingham. Look at what Rogers can do. Morgan Rogers now is believing his own hype. Turns up yesterday with the cap turned on backwards and all the kind of... He's starting to look like a player that believes he's a £100 million player that is now just becoming flicks. Goes up to him, flicks it to an opponent, gets it, turns into 3 or 4 players. Sometimes if you're a player of the value of 100 million, Declan Rice, probably Anderson, is that elite level players do the basics very well. And at the moment, he's trying to do everything as a show reel. Here's me flick, here's me trick, here's me this, here's me that. So Rodgers gets on the plane, but I think Bellingham will start ahead of him. Morgan Gibbs-White, you could argue that in the last 2 or 3 seasons, he's been one of the most frustrating players in the Premier League because, like Rodgers, for a big chunk of that time, flicks, tricks, didn't back it up. He's now got 13 Premier League goals, more than Ollie Watkins, and he's a midfielder. And captaincy is sitting firmly on his shoulders. He's enjoying it, and he's working his socks off. I would have Morgan, if the squad was named today, I'd have Gibbs White ahead of Rodgers 10 times out of 10 because he can do what Rodgers does, but he does a whole lot more. Ezri Konsa at the back has been very nervous and edgy the last few weeks in a Villa shirt. Second half yesterday, he was crisper with his passing. He read the game well, and he looked like the defender that, in inverted commas, bigger clubs would be looking at. And finally, Ollie Watkins. When I sit up in the upper Old, there's a lot of sort of weirdness towards Ollie Watkins, bearing in mind he's Villa's, greatest ever Premier League goal scorer, scored his 100th goal recently for the club. And I backed him up because I know how hard it is as a striker. So through his rough spell, he was still making runs, hypermobile. But yesterday, his basic holding up play is desperately poor. He was backing up against Milenkovic, that's my size, 6'3", 6'4". And all you have to do as a defender, chaps, is give a centre-forward that's standing flush against you and nudge in the back. So when the ball comes towards you, you're facing a 40-mile-an-hour ball coming towards you, and you've just been propelled forward. There was no understanding, seemingly, of a senior England international to either get out of dodge and don't bother going up against Milenkovic, say he'll beat me in a physical battle all day long, or sticking his body between the ball and being a reliable conduit to hold the ball up. Now, if you're Thomas Tuchel watching that yesterday, you say, if game's out, who could we get that's going to hold the ball up for us and be reliable? Watkins? No. So that's why Danny Welbeck, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I think he's scored only, 2 penalties in his last 15 games. But there's a reason why he may well go ahead of a Watkins, or a Danny Welbeck might get a very late call, is because the skill set of holding the ball up in the Premier League, which is a lost art these days, is still a skill that is vitally important. You hold it up, midfielders will run off you with confidence, your ball goes wide, you get it in the box, and you finish it off. If you want an example of that, who's done it to the nth degree over a career, is Chris Wood. He doesn't get involved in much of the play, and lots of yesterday for Forest, he was just chasing things down gamely. But you play the ball up to him, he'll hold it up, he'll wait for midfielders to come on and take it off him, or he'll pop it off wide and he'll get in the box and be a threat. And I fear that unless Ollie Watkins now has a real spurt at the end of the season of goals but hold-up play, that a player that has been exceptional for Aston Villa, I absolutely love him to bits, scored a goal, of course, important goal at the Euros, is that he won't make the flight. So I'm being harsh, absolutely I'm being harsh on some Villa players, because for me as a fan now, they've given me the most pleasure since the team of the 80s, Morley, with Shaw, etc., etc. Technically, on their day, they're as good as any team in the Premier League. But in a run-in, we all know, we all support teams listening to this, is that bottle, desire, roll your sleeves up, duke it out with the opponents are important things, the most important things in a run-in. And I'm questioning that of this group of players.
Really interesting stuff. Stan, thanks for that. We're going to be looking at 3 big games this weekend in the Premier League with Stan. Jim Proudfoot's going to join us. Man will have half an eye on Plainmoor this weekend when he's commentating. And one of the talkSPORT listeners, our panel beater, to win some points in the Falls panel. That's coming up shortly. We're here with our very good friends at Toolstation. Get your home spring ready with great deals on top paint brands like Dulux, Crown and Leyland. Next stop, Toolstation.
Scott Parker has left his position as head coach of Burnley by mutual consent. The statement says, following confirmation of the club's relegation, Parker and the board held discussions and mutually agreed that his time at Turf Moor would conclude. And the club would like to thank Scott for what he has done, etc., etc. The thing is, we've still got a few games to go, and it would appear that Scott is going now, which is rather strange, is it not? Why not wait out the rest of the season?
What's the point? I mean, if the decision has been made, what's the point of hanging around? The die has been cast, the agenda has been set. Whether it's a combination of mutual or one person has jumped faster than the other one pushed, who knows? But if you've made a decision, there's no point sticking around. The club's been relegated. You might find a few people having a few choice words to say to the manager at the back end of the season because they're disappointed with the club's relegation. Why subject him to that? Why subject yourself to that? Because I think there is a little bit of disquiet about some of the performances from certain sections of the Burnley fans. If I read the room right, if I'm wrong, I'll be happy to be corrected.
Okay.
But Scott Parker can leave with no worse a job than, say, Vincent Kompany did. I am disappointed that I thought they would be more competitive insofar as I care about Burnley, but I thought that they would be more competitive because they came up in such a way with such a robust and resilient defence that seems to have completely evaporated as they've got into the Premier League. And it's often easier to be destructive than it is to be constructive. The best players are the ones that score goals, and they're the ones that are most difficult to buy. The ones that can stop you from scoring goals are slightly...
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How did you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it, Big.
Time for the Falls panel then. That point of the show, we try and guess the scores of... I say guess, makes us sound like amateurs. Predict the scores of three big games this weekend. Arsenal, Fulham, Manchester United, Liverpool, Spurs at Aston Villa, of course, on Sunday evening. And we'll get 3 points. We get them absolutely right. We'll get 1 point for the outcome and now for getting it wrong. We have a league table that builds. These are the standings. Chrissy was a Southampton fan, was on last week. Got 2 points there on 50.
Well done, Chris.
Then there is a big leap to Andy Jacobs on 61. Just 1 point for Andy. Max was in for me last week. Got me 2 points. I'm on a solid mid-table 63.
Yeah.
Then Stan, who led for a while, has been knocked off his perch. He's on 67, 1 point for him last week. And steady work by Nigel Adley.
Yeah, lovely stuff.
1 point for Nige. They're on 72. So the
commentators normally stink the place out on
this
as well, so they're doing
That's
well.
Right. All apart from Jim Proudfoot, of course, who never gets it wrong. Good afternoon, Jim.
Hello, Jim.
Yeah, very good afternoon to you guys. I have contributed very little to that tally of 72, and I'm intending to carry on going the same way.
You will have an eye on Plainmoor, like Charlie, of course, this weekend. You're a Torquay United fan like him. A lot at stake, isn't there?
There is a lot at stake. I feel a little bit sorry for Dorking because it was theirs to lose the last few weeks of the season, I think. They'd taken 7 points in the last 5 games, they would have been up, but injuries hit them.
Good.
And we're hungry for a little bit of playoff revenge after last year, so very much looking forward to it tomorrow.
Problem with playing Dorking is the circus turns up, right?
Yeah.
You have this whole circus around it. Exactly. And it's like, you just got to ignore that. And you know what you do with a naughty boy, Paul?
What's that?
You ignore them. That's what we've got to do tomorrow. Ignore him.
Anyway, let's say hello to, is it Kev?
Yeah, hi, Paul.
Hello, Kev. How are you?
Hello, Kev.
Good, mate. Good to speak to you.
Yeah, nice to talk to you. Big Liverpool fan. So we're going to come on to Kev's game. They go to Old Trafford very shortly. Stan stuck around, obviously. Let's kick off then. Arsenal versus Fulham. Jim, commentators leading the table, so take it away.
Well, I think that, excuse the Salisbury train just rolling past in the background, but I think that it's going to be tough for Arsenal. I don't think that they've hit a wall. They have got an easy run in, but I think that pressure is so telling. I just think that this is going to be difficult. I'm going to go for them. I'm going to play the percentages and go for them to win, but I think it'll be scrappy. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Arsenal.
2-1 to Arsenal, says Jim. Okay. Stan, how do you see it?
I've got an amazing stat for you. Arsenal have never lost in 32 home games versus Fulham, the most any side has faced another in the history of English football and not lost.
Wow.
So this should be, in the history of English football,
Blimey.
This is the by far and away the best record. Look, Arsenal, I think that I've just seen on the wires that Mikel Arteta has quoted, "We have enough fuel in the tank." I believe they've got enough fuel in the tank, certainly to win this game. Arsenal 2, Fulham 0.
No, 2 Fulham 0. I think it's going to be a nervy day for them, and they are going to have an eye on next Tuesday. But I just think they'll find a way. They'll pop up with a goal, and I'm not altogether sure Fulham will. So I'm going for a pretty scrappy but important 1-0 to the Goons. Charlie.
Okay, yeah. I'm just thinking of Stan's stat, and you got to think, even a stopped clock is right twice a day, Paul. They've got to win eventually.
The history of English football is something else.
Marco Silva, I think he's trying to engineer a move to a bigger club.
Well,
if he can beat Arsenal,
they're pushing for Europe.
He could be Arsenal's manager next season.
A lot of ex-Arsenal players playing.
And I've got to get some points for Andy. I'm going 2-1 Fulham.
Oh wow! Okay, bold. What do you reckon, Kev, the Liverpool fan?
Yeah, I think much depends on the selection for Arsenal. They'll have one eye on the second leg, almost certainly. I saw Fulham at Anfield a few weeks ago. They never really turned up that day. They can be a bit unpredictable. It's going to be a tense one, though, I think. I think I'm with Jim. Arsenal 2, Fulham 1.
Yeah.
2-1.
Now, listen to Kev. I'm regretting my choice.
But no, it's all right. You've been bold. You've been bold. Yeah. TalkSPORT listeners home in the car. Off to Old Trafford then for Sunday afternoon. Manchester United versus Liverpool. Jim.
And again, you've got to say it's down to Liverpool's away form being really, really disappointing. I know that they've got more to play for than Manchester United because there's a lot more jeopardy there. United essentially have got the job done and their top 5 finish is secure, and Liverpool have by no means got it done at all. But I don't trust Liverpool away from home at the moment. And I think that whereas United have been a little bit erratic, I think that they're going to be good enough. So I'm going to go for the same score again. United 2, Liverpool 1.
2-1 says Jim. Stan.
Manchester United have won 3 of their last 19 against their foe from down the East Lancs Road, and Liverpool have won 3 out of their last 5 at Old Trafford. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1. Spoils shared.
I'm with Jim, I think. I think United just going to edge it. Who knows, probably a Bruno penalty, more contentious VAR, but I do agree with Jim. I just see United nicking this 2-1. What do you think, Charlie?
I think this is often one of the most boring derbies you ever watch in your whole life. So regularly ends 0-0. I think it's going to be 0-0.
Okay. Well, there we are. You are flying in the face of everything today. It's all vibes. Well, Kev, it's your team. We're basically saying there's nothing down for you. Stan's giving you a draw, so are you confident going there?
Well, I hope it's more entertaining than Charlie's 0-0.
Sorry, Kev. No, I can only apologise.
I'm not particularly confident. It's an instant start. Liverpool haven't won away this season at a top half team, with Everton being 11th now. So they're so up and down. I mean, I know United were poor against Leeds, but otherwise their own form looks quite good. And Liverpool have been fortunate. I actually think they're going to be on the wrong end of it. I'm going United 3, Liverpool 2.
Ooh, okay. It's a dagger at the heart. That is
goals for entertainment.
Yeah.
That haircut bloke will be happy.
He will be, that's right. Yes. 3-2 to Manchester United, says Kev. TalkSPORT listeners home in the car. And finally, the one I'll be watching from behind the sofa like an old episode of Doctor Who for the cracks of my fingers. Aston Villa versus Tottenham. Jim, what do you reckon?
I'm going for Spurs.
Oh, good man.
And I'm not saying that there's a huge amount of logic in it, but sooner or later, I think that they've got to pick up an impressive, eye-catching result. And no disrespect to Wolves, I think the win that Spurs had last weekend was certainly important, but I don't think it was eye-catching necessarily. I can't really eloquently explain any logic behind it, aside from underlying improvement under De Zerbi and the fact he's come at a really good time with Villa having lost the last 2 games 1-0. They've got that mammoth game against Forest coming up on Thursday. I didn't think that they were great last night, particularly going forward, not creating chances, and everything that Stan was saying before the break, I absolutely agree with. I haven't seen as much Villa as Stan has, but I understand exactly where he's coming from, having seen them play. I think Spurs nick this. I'm going Villa 0, Tottenham 1.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Stan?
Aston Villa have won 2 of the last 7 in the Premier League. Spurs looking for back-to-back wins in the league for the first time since the opening 2 games of the season, Paul. Remember those halcyon days?
Oh, tremendous, yeah, that's right. Manchester City was one of them, for goodness sake.
Yes. Pundit, Aston Villa aren't good at the moment. Too slow. Not reacting at all. I want to see teams in the Premier League in the run-in, and this is my experience of a run-in. Scrap, fight, technique comes second. I don't think Aston Villa have got scrap and fight at the minute. Villa have won 2 of the last 7 in the Premier League. None of the last 21 have finished level. So I'm backing against my own stats here, but I'm going to go Villa 1, Spurs 1.
Villa 1, Spurs 1. I said I had a dream earlier. Yeah. I just wondered, Collymore through the middle where he's looked more effective. I'd have Tell on the right, and one of the better goals we scored in Europe was from Tell on the right, putting in a lovely cross, and I'd have Richie on the left. It's our only hope, I feel, because I don't see where the creativity, or in the final third especially, is coming from. And that's when we had players like Xavi Simons and Solanke on the pitch, and we were still creating now. I've just seen Roberto De Zerbi saying we have to stop the negativity. We have to hope. Of course we hope. Of course we want it to happen as Tottenham fans. But it depends what happens tomorrow with West Ham. But I might take the draw. I kind of think it could be 1 each. I'm going to go with Stan on it. But obviously I hope we win. Charlie?
That felt like therapy then, Paul.
It did, that's right. And you want to charge me? Didn't you know when I laid on the couch and you charged me 12 guineas?
Good time to play our Aston Villa, I think. Between the 2 cup rounds, and they are a bit flat unless they're saving themselves for Sunday, but I don't think they are. I think Spurs will have the desperation. I think Spurs are going to get out of it. I think West Ham are going to go down. I think it will be 2-1 to Tottenham Hotspur.
2-1 to Spurs. Kev's next. You kind of think Unai Emery will put a rocket up them. He probably wasn't happy the way that Stan wasn't particularly happy with his team. Maybe you'll see a reaction before Thursday. Kev, what do you reckon about this one?
Well, first thing I thought after last night's game was it was a great result for Spurs, because now Villa are going to have probably 1.5 eyes on that. 4 points in the last 2 games for Spurs, bit of momentum going, De Zerbi effect. You're going to like this, Paul. Villa 0, Spurs 1, maybe a late set piece, I think.
I'm not sure about all these people going for Spurs to win, but God bless you all. Let's have these positive vibes. Thank you, Kev. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the game.
Yeah,
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks. Good to speak to you guys.
Cheers, Kev.
Jim.
Up the goals, Jim.
Up the goals. Have a good weekend.
Up the goals. Everything crossed.
Indeed. And Stan, really enjoyed your Villa Forest stuff. We had some great reaction to that and how it fed into England. So we will catch up with you next week. Thanks a lot.
Up the Villa.
Up the Villa. There he is. Cundy was giving it a lot of up the Villa last night.
Oh, well, yeah, I think he was. Has anyone seen Aston Villa? Yeah.
No, there's a lot of up the Villa because he wants Spurs to go down.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yes, of course.
His EFL roundup lined up for the
we're going to put. Yeah, Stan was really interested on the Forest Villa last night and the England players heading to the World Cup. And if you missed it, we're going to put that on the podcast for you later on. So, still to come, Todd Macklin's American Sport Roundup, a fresh batch of clips of the week. Ted Kravitz is going to join us for a chat because F1 returns this weekend. Is Max Verstappen happy with the rule tweaks? Well, what do you think? We'll discuss that with Ted. And we'll hear from some of the gaffers ahead of the weekend's football. That's all to come.
Frank, I want to move on to a player that you give his debut for Chelsea, Reece James. How important is he for Chelsea and also for the World Cup in the summer?
Yeah, Reece, what an incredible player, an incredible lad. I've been really pleased with how he's taken to the captaincy there as well, because I think from afar, I feel like I've seen him grow into that position, because he was always quite a quiet lad, Reece. Kept his thoughts to himself, but when you did speak to him, he was very articulate. But the quality level, Gabby, I mean, when I first went to Chelsea, I had a good understanding of the academy because of the lads that were working with me. But to see his talent level, I mean, I've never seen someone who gets a 70-yard crossfielder and just brings it down on his chest and then can do whatever he wants with the ball. It's a really incredible technique. But his whole game that he's got now, pace and power and the quality levels. So, yeah, massively important for Chelsea. You see that when he's not playing. He's managed to play more regularly this season, which has been great, but obviously out recently. And yeah, without picking Thomas's squad for him or his team, I think Reece James is one of the best right backs in the world, without a doubt. And yeah, want to see him fit and playing again because he's a special player.
So how do you rate our chances at the World Cup, Frank?
Well, I think we've got a good chance, but there's a lot of other good teams in it. This is the age-old question I get about why we didn't win World Cups as a group from my generation. And part of the answer is because France, Spain, Germany were all really, really good too. And, you know, so there are other teams that will be there competing, going over to America with the conditions that they'll be. But I think we've got lots of good talent in our squad as well. So I think absolutely we ever...
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range, helping business owners to work better and live better. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon, I'm Max Scott here with your sports headlines. It's like we're all crying and relegated. That's Roberto De Zerbi's thoughts ahead of Spurs' clash with Villa on Sunday. He says losers cry, and his Spurs side are not done yet.
I have a big respect for Emery as a coach, but if Tottenham win in Villa Park, it's not a miracle. Maybe we lose, but we have the quality to win.
Speaking of Aston Villa, their former striker Stan Collymore had some strong words for Morgan Rogers after his performance in their 1-0 loss in the Europa League semi-final first leg at Forest last night.
Morgan Rogers now is believing his own hype. Turns up yesterday with the cap turned on backwards and all the kind of... He's starting to look like a player that believes he's a £100 million player.
Collymore says Jude Bellingham should start ahead of Rodgers for England in the World Cup this summer. Meanwhile, Eddie Howe's insisted Newcastle's Saudi backers remain fully committed to the club's ambitions. With regards to his own future, he says he never needed clarity on it. Former Newcastle striker Mickey Quinn told talkSPORT where he stands on the matter.
I'm definitely for Eddie staying. I mean, one bad season. You couldn't even say it's bad. You know, they got the last 16 of the Champions League, you know, and knocked out by really good teams as well. So, I don't know. I'm all for Eddie to stay.
And ahead of a huge title showdown in the SPL on Monday against Rangers, Hearts boss Derek McInnes hopes to have either Cammy Devlin or Harry Milne back in time.
We're very hopeful that one will be back, maybe two, both going the right way. So obviously it would be a great addition for us getting into this sort of game. But no, we're hopeful that with the game still a few days away, we can at least get one of them.
Hearts are 3 clear at the top of the table, 4 ahead of Rangers.
talkSPORT News.
A woman's been charged after a car crashed into a school, killing 2 young girls, and the man accused of the Golders Green attack will remain in custody after appearing in court earlier. More with Sinead at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Store your new tyres this spring at a time that suits you best, from the comfort of your home or work 7 days a week, with our mobile tyre fitting service. Conditions apply.
Nice warm afternoon of sunshine. Some showers will move eastwards through the day, affecting Western England and Scotland.
Good afternoon, Paul Hawksbee, Charlie Baker here on Talk Sport. You've just come up with one of these hybrid sports.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a very good idea. It's MMA and pool.
Okay.
So you have a frame of pool, and then it's 10 to 20 seconds of a tear up.
Okay.
You're allowed to use anything in the area. No glass, Paul. I'm not an animal.
No, you're not an animal.
No ashtrays or anything.
No.
And then so 20 seconds of a
hybrid sport,
and then another frame.
One of the listeners went back in history for, who did he want?
Bill Werbenick
versus Harvey Smith.
Harvey Smith. So you do
frame of snooker, and then
some horse
show jumping.
Show jumping. That's it. Yeah. And
sadly, neither of them still with
could
us.
do it.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to get that one off the ground, it's a non-starter.
Show jumping and snooker.
Like I imagine trying to get Bill Werbenick on a horse off the ground would be a non-starter.
It might have been quite difficult. This is because we spoke to Dave Allen, who is trying to now get Mo Farah and Luke Littler
very serious about it.
A hybrid darts half marathon. Anyway, let's move. We're going to new clips of the week for you at 3:30.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Macklin's got some interesting stuff from the States. We'll hear from the gaffers, and some really interesting stuff has been emerging this afternoon from the manager's press conferences ahead of the weekend. Also back this weekend is F1 after that couple of weeks break, and Tom Clayton has given us the lowdown ahead of Sunday's Miami Grand Prix.
Formula One finally returns this weekend after a layoff due to the suspensions of the Saudi Arabia and Bahrain Grand Prix. There's been some changes too, with tweaks to the rules making the racing potentially more interesting and safer. It's all to do with how they deploy the energy of their power units, and the tweaks mean we hopefully see cars flat out for longer and less super clipping, where a driver will lift off halfway down a straight to charge the battery. In the first three races, it's been Mercedes' dominance, with one win for George Russell and two for teenage sensation Kimi Antonelli. Ferrari had been their closest competitors, but the McLarens started to come good after a bad start to the year. But who knows how the pecking order looks after these rule tweaks? We'll find out when the lights go out in Miami at 9 p.m. on Sunday.
We'll have updates from the Miami Grand Prix from 9 p.m. on Sunday. Before that, you can listen to live Formula E commentaries from 3 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday on the talkSPORT Driving YouTube channel. Let's have a chat with Sky Sports F1 pit lane reporters. Ted Kravitz joins us. Hello, Ted.
Hello, Ted.
Hi there. Yeah, good morning from Miami, afternoon where you are.
Yes. One of the first things I did was to see what Max Verstappen made of these rule changes. And, of course, he's not happy. He says they're a tickle in terms of addressing his and the other drivers' concerns. I mean, that's probably not massively surprising, Ted, from your point of view, that.
Yeah, tickle. I like that when he said that yesterday. I mean, you know, the intention of the little tweaks to the rules was just to stop some of the safety concerns. Some of the, I mean, we saw a big accident, didn't we? Ollie Behrman had a 50G crash in Japan, the last race in Japan, when he was racing Franco Colapinto. And they're just trying to calm down some of that. There's a very near miss off the start line where we almost had an almighty start line crash between Liam Lawson and again Franco Colapinto. So it's mostly for safety, mostly just to make it all a bit more predictable. But what they didn't want to do was to change any of the good racing we've had so far with Mercedes and Ferrari. You don't want to penalise them. You know, they didn't get the new rules wrong. They got it right, and so you don't want to penalise them for their success. Lewis Hamilton's saying he's never enjoyed racing more than the racing we've got at the moment. So, yeah, you've got to bear in mind all that. You don't want to penalise them. And, well, Max is saying it's a tickle, but at the same time, he doesn't really expect his car to get any quicker. But as you say, we'll see this weekend.
Yeah, it's so what can we expect from this weekend? What can we expect from the track at Miami? What sort of race?
Well, I mean, it's a marathon, not a sprint, but even George Russell, who actually watched the London Marathon, and Sebastian Vettel, who ran that under 3 hours, that he was quite impressed with. He was saying, look, you know, yes, Kimi Antonelli, my 19-year-old teammate, is 10 plus points ahead of me in the championship. Kimi's the youngest leader of the world champion we've ever had, but I'm not particularly worried. But I'm not sure I buy that. You need to have, George Russell needs to have a perfect weekend. It's a sprint weekend in Miami. George Russell needs to win the sprint. He needs to qualify on pole for the Grand Prix and then win the Grand Prix, because if he lets Kimi Antonelli, who's no slouch around here, Kimi was on pole last year in the sprint race here. If he lets Kimi Antonelli win another race, make it a hat trick of wins, then suddenly everyone's talking about Antonelli, the teenager, being the lead driver at Mercedes and not George Russell. So crucial weekend for George Russell, I think.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton, it does seem to be the momentum for him is going the right way. And he seemed that, as you say, he does seem to be enjoying his racing a lot more. And the Ferrari team seem to have maybe taken on board a lot of what he was trying to say last season.
Yeah, it's his car. When he said the year before, he just joined Ferrari and it wasn't really his car. So he's got his fingerprints on this. And actually, interestingly, he didn't have such a great Japanese Grand Prix after being on the podium in China. And he said, actually, we found something on the car in Japan that meant it was a little bit slower in a straight line than Lewis would have liked. And he thinks that's going to be different here, which is just as well because Miami has a very long straight. But Charles Leclerc, his Ferrari teammate, has been on the podium, Grand Prix podium, 2 out of the 3 Grand Prix so far. So, yeah, Ferrari and Mercedes are right in it. But what about McLaren? That's the big story for me. I mean, we're just about to go into the circuit here Friday morning. And McLaren have got a load of upgrades. So maybe this is where Lando Norris's defence of his championship actually starts.
Yeah, that's right. How often do we see that? You know, the teams and the changes they make during the season.
Yeah.
You know, and now it kind of completely changes the landscape. One of the other stories we noticed this week, and I don't know if you've been to Alex Albon's house at all, but he's got 14 cats. So I mean, the ammonia smell is quite strong, isn't it?
He's got a mouse problem. He's got a mouse problem.
Has he got a mouse problem where he lives? I wouldn't think so. But 14 cats, Ted, for goodness sake.
I haven't been to his house. I've been for coffee with him in Barons Court Tube,
right,
or just outside Barons Court Tube. So that's all I've been to with Alex Albon. Yes, but the Albon pets, they are an online sensation. Yeah. They've got a huge following of their own. There are various cats and dogs, and the Albon pets are very good. But there's another story. I mean, we've got stories up and down the grid.
Yeah,
Williams, who kind of traded all of their development chips, if you want, from last year into getting this year's car as good as they can. They've been nowhere so far. And Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon, they've got quality drivers there, and they're really not providing them with a car yet. And the car's still a bit overweight. And of course, the more weight you carry around, the slower you are. And they're hoping for a better weekend.
Now, finally, F1 it's a glamorous circuit. Of course, it isn't a very glamorous job you do, but it's relentless once the season gets underway. But you kind of do really get the sense hearing from some of the drivers, including Lewis, that this enforced break really has sort of fired everybody up for this return race.
Well, I think it's also the start of the season in terms of viewing times in the UK and Ireland and Europe as well. Australia, middle of the night, China was middle of the night, Japan, early hours of the morning. So it's tea time on Sky Sports at the end of the day. You can watch qualifying, you can watch the Grand Prix, you can have your dinner, and then you can watch the race. And so that's why everybody's excited about it. And so we've had action so far. Mercedes have led the way. But, Oscar Piastri in the McLaren, he almost won the Japanese Grand Prix, but for a late safety car. So it is open, and we've got some great racing to come. So, it's a bit of a reset. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long 4.5 weeks off.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get on with it again.
Last time we spoke to you popped in the studio and had a chat about your new book, F1 Insider. I take it it's available at all good bookshops on Amazon and elsewhere?
Yes, yeah. I mean, fast-moving sport like this, I tried not to date it too much. But no, it's about some of the sort of great stories of the last 25 years in F1, and what we can learn from the past that tells us something about the racing we're watching at the moment.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, good to talk to you, Ted. All the best, Ted. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks a lot.
Ted Kravitz there from Miami, head of the Miami Grand Prix, as we said. We'll have updates from 9 p.m. on Sunday.
Verstappen's moaning because he's not winning.
Yeah.
Just used to win, innit?
Look, hopefully he'll feel a bit more upbeat once these sort of tweaks come into play, but we shall see. So, staying with the States, but we're going to be focusing on American sport next with Todd Macklin.
Go Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks last night, didn't they put 50 points on the opposition? It was a ludicrous.
Half time. Paul.
Wow.
50 points.
All right, then. I'll tell you what. We'll lead with that.
Okay.
We'll get that out of the way.
Go Knicks.
As you're a Knicks fan.
Todd's a Boston Celtics fan. I think that's who we've got in the next playoffs.
Oh, right. Okay. So a little bit of needle. Anyway, Todd Macklin does join us. We've got lots of weird and wonderful stories, including LeBron James' golf swing, again, has gone under the microscope. Even our own Charlie Baker. I ran it past him yesterday. Choppy, you felt, didn't you?
Choppy, very choppy.
Very choppy. Anyway, we'll touch on that and other matters besides with Todd in a few moments' time, ahead of the clips of the week. And we're here with Tool Station. You can check out their wide range of garden power tools with brands such as Bosch and Ryobi. Next stop, Tool Station.
It's not the first time that Jack's been caught up in off-field issues, if you can call this an off-field issue. Way back in March 2020, during the first COVID-19 lockdown, he was involved in an incident in Solihull, a car crash, 24 hours after urging fans to stay home on social media. He ended up pleading guilty to careless driving at the time. He was fined over £80,000. He was handed a 9-month driving ban after the incident. A year later, after a 7-0 win over Leeds, Pep Guardiola was said to be unhappy with the condition of both Foden and Grealish, turning up at a training session and not in the best of condition. After their treble win, we know that Jack Grealish was lionised by a certain section of the general public. He was on a bit of a drinking bender, but Pep seemed to be quite relaxed about it. If you fast forward to March 2025, he was spotted in Newcastle following an FA Cup win. He visited a social club in Washington near Newcastle on a Sunday. He was described as a total gentleman by locals. He posed for photographs, but then when he left the pub, he seemed somewhat unsteady on his feet. He looked a bit worse for wear. And Pep ultimately was asked about that and the sequence of events that led up to that.
They know what they have to do. So day off is day off. It's no training. They are a private life. They will do whatever they want. I'm not going to control what they do in the private life. So I judge what I have to see with the pitch, the training sessions, and the performance in the game. That's what I judge. I judge the players.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Every game.
He scores!
The 2026 FIFA World Cup starts this June on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2.
Time now to talk American sports in the company, as always, of Todd Macklin. Good afternoon, Todd.
Hello, Todd.
Hi, boys.
We've got to start with the Knicks. Charlie's bullied me into it. A 47-point lead at half-time against the Hawks.
Largest playoff win in Knicks franchise history.
Actually, blitzed it.
Most points scored by the Knicks in a playoff game.
Wow.
Huge. Celtics quaking in their boots, Todd.
Listen, I bet you they're quaking a little bit more than they were 3 or 4 days ago. 3 or 4 days ago, the Celtics were up 3-1 on Philadelphia, so looking like they could get some rest before they played the Knicks. But no, like, they're going to have to win tomorrow night and not going to be easy against Philly, who have won the last 2 games. So if they do make it out and do beat Philly, you're right. It's the Knicks, and it's on Monday night. And Boston, New York. Hey, listen, Boston, New York or Philly, New York is going to be a fantastic series.
Yeah. Now, I've been looking at lots of stuff, reading stuff about the draft, and a lot of it's focused on the sort of winners and losers and a lot of the names you guys spoke about last week. But I've been reading about this guy, Diego Pavia. He was a Heisman Trophy finalist, one of the best players in college football. He's a quarterback. And he didn't get drafted at all. That, to be a Heisman finalist, not get drafted, doesn't happen very often. And I just read a little bit more about him, and everybody seems to have an opinion on him, whether he's too small, whether he's too slow. But the other thing is he had an entourage. He had people. He had a big draft party when he didn't get drafted. There's been a few stories about stuff that's gone on behind the scenes, like popping up in strip clubs during the week. I mean, look, he's allowed to have a social life and all that. But it did strike me as it's one of those things where someone's living the life of a NFL quarterback before they're an NFL quarterback. Maybe it's a bit of a lesson there.
I think it's. I think you are so right about that. That it is an incredible lesson. Yeah, to your point, Paul. 2014 was the last time a Heisman finalist did not get drafted in the NFL draft. So it doesn't happen very often. You mentioned the too small. He's 5'9". We've talked for years about quarterbacks in the NFL, prototypical. They like them to be over 6 feet, right? That's 6'2", 6'3". So he has that going against him. You mentioned the Heisman finalist. Yeah, this year he played really well. The 3 previous years, he didn't play all that well. He was okay. So, these teams are weighing, which guy is he? Is he the guy who played great this year or the guy who was okay for 3 years? And the last thing was, the decisions, the strip clubs, the entourages, when you haven't really done anything. Listen, in the NFL, we joke all the time. They like personality for the wide receivers, right? We talk about this wide receiver being a diva, stuff like that. You don't mind personality from your receivers, your running backs, your defensive players. You don't want it from your quarterback, right? Your quarterbacks, you're judged differently than the other positions. So I think, kind of all that is the reason he didn't get drafted. He ended up signing, right? He had signed with the Baltimore Ravens. He's going to try and battle for the 3rd string spot. If his talent was off the charts, you don't mind the entourages and the other things. Yeah. But his talent isn't off the charts. So for a guy battling to be your backup quarterback, your 3rd string quarterback, you're not putting up with that. It's not worth it. And I think that's why he is where he is.
Yeah, interesting. Now, Philly's Karen last year. This was the lady who went to a ball game and kind of seized the ball off of a young kid, a home run ball. Well, it's happened again. This is a Rays Guardians game. And this time it was a guy, a grown man, snatching the ball from a young girl. He kind of grabs the ball out of her hand.
Do they not know they're being filmed?
I know.
People?
There he is with his big old beard, this fella. And then we're just showing it to people if they're watching on YouTube. You can go and check it out. And he just runs over and takes it. Looks at a little girl, like some old bottom lips going. Now, luckily, one of the Rays backroom team, one of the reporters who works for them, saw it on screen and went and got a ball for her and had a chat with the folks and had a chat with the nice touch. But really, as you say, Charlie, why do adults do this sort of stuff?
I just think you get caught up in the moment, right? That you're just so focused on getting the home run ball. And again, we've talked over the years about the value of these balls and stuff like that. And I will say the guy realized he'd made a mistake. So after the fact, he's been interviewed, about this. And he has said, listen, I made a mistake. I was wrong. So I give him credit for that. He said he gave the ball he got to the girl as well. So she ended up with 2 balls. Oh, yeah. I think her brother ended up with a ball too in all this. But I agree, like in the moment, right? Even grown-ups get caught up into trying to get a ball from a game. It's just such a big part of the experience at a baseball game.
Philly's Karen doubled down, of course. She wasn't having it at all.
No, she wasn't.
Just quick bit of housekeeping. We spoke the other week about Steph Curry, and he didn't have a shoe deal, so he was wearing different shoes for every game. And he decided to auction them off for his foundation. Well, they did it all online, through Sotheby's, no less. Yeah. And he raised $1.7 million. One pair, and if you're into your trainers, you'll like this. Amazing. One pair, a pair of 2010 Nike Hyperdunk Player Editions. Benty will be right across them, and Andy.
He might have bought them.
He wore them for the Christmas Day game. They went for $121,600 after 22 bids. So that was good. Good business. There was method in his madness, wasn't there, Todd?
And does it pretty regularly, too. Steph Curry is a guy that really gives back to people. The only question with Curry is just kind of the future of the Warriors, right? What's going to happen with Steve Kerr? Their coach, obviously, Steph will be back with Golden State, but just how does that team look going forward? It's probably going to be some big changes there.
Now, LeBron's got an eye on the future, and a bit like Michael Jordan, golf could be an outlet for him.
Oh, that's nice for him, yeah.
He got a bit of stick for his swing last year. But he's just posted some videos this week, and again, we're showing to people on connected TV or YouTube at the moment. And he's gone out and filmed himself, so he's feeling more confident. Charlie had a look at this.
It's choppy.
Very choppy.
It looks like someone who's been playing about 6 months. not one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
I mean, it's right. It's not the most elegant follow through I've ever seen. It's quite baseball. Maybe he's going to follow Jordan into baseball. I don't know, Todd. What
Guys,
do you think?
as we know about golf, though, golf is so humbling. As you say, LeBron this week, kind of the big news this week is LeBron was talking about Michael Jordan and, saying hopefully he made Michael Jordan proud because LeBron wears number 23 like Jordan did as well. So that's kind of been, the big story this week. And the golf, listen, it's humbling. Even the great athletes don't look good with their golf swings.
Yeah. You expect them to be just as elegant as they are on the court or whatever, don't you?
Beautiful, yeah.
Now, finally, of course, it's Travis Kelce again. He's in the news. But it wasn't his fault. It was Meryl Streep. So you weren't expecting that, were you? She's on the promo trail for Devil Wears Prada 2.
Oh, yeah.
And she said one of the toughest things she had to do at her age was walking in these very high stiletto heels on the cobbles in Milan, where they did the sort of fashion show stuff. And she said, I'd love to see Travis Kelce do that. She said, sort of pulled a name like
of course,
out of nowhere. So, of course, his brother went on their New Heights podcast. His brother, Jason, gets hold of it and tells him about this and plays him the clip of Meryl Streep. And this was Travis's reply.
Oh, Meryl, you have no idea how good I am at walking in heels, okay?
I think we should recreate this. I think we should put this to the test, not recreate.
We're going to have to find some size 14 heels first.
Okay. Well, we can have those custom made. I'm sure there's some WNBA players that can put us onto some spots.
What's the heel, though? Is a heel, because I wear like Chelsea boots. Are those heels?
No. It's got to be a stiletto. It's got to be a pointy bottom. That's why it's hard.
You're right. I'll give credit where credit's due. I don't think I can do it, Meryl.
That's right. I mean, I imagine there is a specialist market for men's size 14 stilettos, Charlie. And you could probably tell me where the shop is.
Point you at some internet sites. Ever worn heels, Todd?
Yeah, you have now.
No, can't say that I have. No.
Charlie, you have.
I've worn heels. Yeah.
What did you wear heels for?
Oh, many things. Many of my showbiz adventures.
Really?
I've dragged up before. Paul.
Stilettos.
I don't think I've ever worn stilettos.
Okay.
No, but you can get a dance heel, you see. That's the thing.
Right, okay.
Thing. But
still tell me,
get
a Rocky Horror.
No one should wear them. They're terrible for your feet.
That's true. Good advice.
Wear a nice flat.
Todd, pleasure.
Ballet pump.
We will catch up with you next week. Thanks very much.
See you, boys.
There's Todd Macklin there, our man on American sports. So we've got some fresh clips of the week coming up next, and we're going to hear from the gaffers before we hand over to Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent with Drive.
Arsenal legend Martin Keown had this to say about that penalty being disallowed.
Let me guess.
I simply don't think it was clear and obvious, and the referee there should be allowed to referee the game. VAR's got too involved, and that's not what we wanted with VAR. It's not part of the protocol, really, for me. Simeone, though, his actions to the sideline, and I mean the drama that he creates and the scenes around it. Referee in the end, I felt, buckled under the pressure, went to the screen and didn't stand by his decision. I don't even think he should have been made to go to the screen.
See, what is Martin on about?
Martin on
what is he on
TNT.
about? That's why VAR is there. That's the reason VAR is in place.
I don't think
to overturn clear and obvious. It's not a penalty. It's not a penalty.
All right,
will never convince me it is.
Let's go to Francis, who's Arsenal fan. All right, Francis?
Right, Franny?
Yes, good evening, Jamie and Jason. Yeah, I don't want to harp on the penalty. Look, ultimately we have to accept it. I think it was an incorrect decision, but we will accept it. What I do want to talk about, boys, is our so-called skipper, Martin Odegaard. I think he's been getting away with murder for the past 3, maybe 4 seasons. And even, lads, even before a single ball was kicked this season, our legend Tony Adams, he came out. I'm sure you guys saw the quotes. He came out and he said, we can't win with Martin Odegaard leading the team. And it's no coincidence tonight, Mikel Arteta finally played Declan Rice in the middle as a 6, protecting our centre halves, and you saw what he did.
Let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. Something like this?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision.
It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top level of football refereeing? You can apply to become a referee through your local county FA from as soon as your 14th birthday. After spending several hours either in the classroom or on the pitch, they'll grant you level 7 status, which allows you to officiate amateur games. Then you'll work your way through the ranks of amateur football, not reaching the National League until level 2. It's a long process, bearing in mind every level from 7 upwards takes an average of a year. Also, there's no specific number of games you have to ref or hours you have to log before moving on up. You simply just have to be good enough. Once you're level 2 and have enough experience at a National League level, you can apply to the EFL to become a level 1 referee. Then it's on you to get enough experience to climb through the ranks and eventually become a Premier League referee. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough to officiate games in the top flight. So if you want to make it to the top, there's less than a 1 in 1,000 chance of doing it, and it'll take you a decade to get there.
Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Just for the clips of the week, let's squeeze in today's bet builder with our friends at Paddy Power. We welcome Fern Buckley once again. We're going to look ahead to tonight's Premier League game between Leeds and Burnley, live on talkSPORT at Ellen Road. Hi, Fern.
Good afternoon, guys. Oh my goodness, I'm excited for this one because we've been so close a number of times this week. We're going to do it today.
Let's hope so. Most people feel like it is a bit of a foregone conclusion, this, but Burnley may have another take on it. It's a 5-leg bet builder. I'm going to go for the Leeds win.
Yeah, and I think it's a good shout because they've recently progressed, haven't they? 4 points clear of West Ham at the moment, could really guarantee safety with a victory as well. And they are unbeaten in the last 5 league matches. So a Leeds victory this evening is in at 1-3.
You fancy goals, Charlie?
I do fancy, over 2.5 goals, Fern.
Yeah, and quite a lot of their games have seen well over 2 goals. Actually, they've scored over 2 goals in the last 3 Premier League games. And when you partner that with Burnley's defensive issues, where they concede an average of 2.5 goals per game, I think quite a lot of people agree with you, Charlie, that it's going to be a fair few goals maybe in this one. Oh, it could go the other way. That's in at 6-10.
I just think Leeds are going to go for it. I think they've got a lot to.
They can get it. They can get it done.
Tonight. Can't they?
And they did.
And if they hear our bet builder as well, they're going to want to do it.
Exactly, they want to do it. Exactly, Fern. You're absolutely right.
Noah Rocafort to score any time, says producer Sean.
Yeah, and he's on fire in recent weeks. 5 goals in his last 6 games. That huge brace against United at Old Trafford, a goal against Wolves as well. He is a super sub as well, so if for any reason he comes off, Paddy Power, protect your bet. And for him to score any time, that's in at 7-5.
Popular with the Paddy punters having a bet builder, the People's Pick, Ethan Ampadu to pick up a card at some point.
We've had this in our bet builder a few times actually recently, and almost 1,000 people have it in there this evening. I think it's due to that aggressive style of football he plays, and he's had 8 yellows in 31 games this season, quite a lot of them happening recently, and one of the most frequently booked players for Leeds as well this season. So 7-2 are his odds for a card.
You've gone for Anton Stack to have at least 1 shot.
Yeah, because he returned in the FA Cup semi-final after that absence, so he's back fighting fit. He's registered 48 shots in 26 Premier League games this season, so that is almost 2 per 90. So for him to get 1 on this game, doesn't even have to be on target, just a shot, that is in at 1-50.
So if that comes off, what are we looking at?
Comes in at 15-1, so from a
like
£10 bet, we could get a return of 160 quid tonight. And if we get it right, it goes to the Attitude Foundation. They do a payout, and we're going to do it.
Excellent. Have a good weekend, Fern.
Thanks Fern.
You too, guys. Happy bank holiday.
Indeed. Yeah, Fern Buckley there. Paddy's bet builder for today. Minimum odds 1-5 per leg. 18+ begamblerware.org.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18+ begamblerware.org.
Clips of the week on talkSPORT with Toolstation. Next stop, Toolstation.
talkSPORT. Clips of the week.
Clips of the week time. Some of the best from this.
I'm normally doing the school run during this, Paul.
Oh, right,
So I just had a little moment of panic there. That I'd left my daughter at school.
Anyway, I'll kick us off today with Simon Jordan on one of the prime relegation candidates.
I don't see West Ham beating Everton. I don't. But I do see Spurs beating Tottenham.
I'm not sure Spurs could beat Tottenham at the moment.
Be quite Spursy.
It would be very Spursy for Spurs not to beat Tottenham. Yeah.
And this is newsreader Matt Hutchinson talking Chelsea.
Well, that first half header was the only goal at Wembley. It was Chelsea's first against Premier League opposition for more than 500 minutes in their first game under interim boss Callum McFarlane.
That would be the headline in the papers, Callum McFarlane.
Yeah, exactly.
If it doesn't go well. It's gone pretty well so far.
Brian Ricks, Chelsea.
That's right. And this was Sean Dyche. He was alongside Jeff Stelling on breakfast this morning.
Have you sampled the foot-long Lincolnshire?
No, it's fair to say.
sausage
It's fair
hot
to say.
dogs?
But Lincolnshire sausages, I must say, I do love a sausage, as everyone will know.
All right.
I'm not sure everybody did know. Well, so I then looked up the LMA website. Successful periods at Burnley and Everton.
Yep.
Loves a sausage.
It says that. Doesn't it? What a shame.
Of course it doesn't.
Love to
So
know that.
who knew that he loved a sausage?
There we are. Well, actually, the show did have a bit of a foodie theme.
It did.
I ain't had no breakfast. I could eat curry all day.
Curry for breakfast. I went to Sri Lanka for a couple of weeks, and it is curry for breakfast every
Category. I can never say it. Category.
Just various forms of curry, but there we go.
I think he was going for kedgeree.
Kedgeree he was going.
He was doing a vent act.
He's got a good pedigree.
So
yes,
it's me, isn't it?
Yes.
Meanwhile, Jeff was busy butchering the names of a few Premier League managers.
Oh, that's good.
Coming up, we'll turn our attention to the managerial roundabout that we could see this summer. Thomas Frank
Olivia Glasner, Andoni Araola, Enzo Maresco, Xabi Alonso. They're all available. They all, many of them have got very different names. Areola, he's had a bit of tapas recently on top of the sausage and the curry.
I'm pleased you didn't mess up Frank, but also it sounded like it sounded like the names you'd get if they hadn't got the
you hadn't got the rights.
The rights.
TalkSport hasn't got the rights to say their names properly. Bit like Pro Evo back in the day.
Yeah,
that's it.
Now, this was a very confident Villa caller to the sports bar last night.
Liverpool win at least 2-0 next week.
Okay, that's hopeful. It's not a foregone conclusion, is it?
Yeah, no, but the chances we created tonight. Oh, my baby's here.
Who's that? We got. What you ordered?
A 4-person meal for 2 of us.
Blimey, that's going to sit a bit heavy about 11 o'clock at night, isn't it?
Go back from the football.
That's what I fancy.
4-person Chinese.
Let's have a banquet. It's only 2 of us. Let's have a banquet.
3 o'clock.
We only lost 1-0. We're going to bounce back.
Still eating pork ribs at 3 a.m.
Imagine that. Imagine he woke up with a real MSG overload about 5:30.
It's a mistake, that.
Real sweat on. Yeah, nice.
Anyway, is it you?
It's
me.
It's
you.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
Staying with the callers. This was one getting in touch to breakfast.
Carol is a Chelsea fan. Good morning, Carol. What are you thinking in the news?
Good morning, Carol.
Carol.
Yeah, I'm okay. Look.
All right. You can see what it's Ali's pronunciation of the name Carl.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's Gabby picking up on it, thinking he said Carol.
I'd love to hear Gabby sing some Neil Sedaka.
Yeah.
Oh, Carol. I don't know how that would come out.
It would be a very, very different song.
Meanwhile, there was an in-depth debate going on between Madge and Pards on the final word.
The game had against Burnley on Wednesday evening that if they win, they go to the top of the table. And I think perhaps a lot of people worry that once Man City go top, there's no catching them.
Well, we'll see.
You think they've had a row?
Falling out there, haven't they? They're at the airport.
Had a bit of edge there, didn't it? Had a bit of edge.
At the airport. Well, we'll see. We'll see if the hire car.
Not one of those when it went to the break and they had it out. Of course not. They're good mates. They're back on Sunday. Back to Simon Jordan reworking the famous old saying, making a silk purse out of a sow's ear.
What he's done to some extent, he's turned, a silk cloth into something else.
The old silk cloth into something else. That old saying your nan used to say.
That was the first draft.
It was, yeah. They workshopped
What would you make a silk cloth into?
Yeah. What should we go with?
Now, have you ever seen a sow's ear?
Oh, that's it. That's it. We'll stick with that or something else.
Staying with Simon, have you ever wondered what his ringtone might be?
Here it is.
And I think one of the biggest mistakes we did was let Jackson go on loan. Now, his goal scoring wasn't great. His movement off the ball was. So...
Carry on, Daniel. We won't say where that came from, but I'm looking at Simon. He's got a guilty look in his face.
Wow.
Now, our young production team, I thought they'd jump on that and say, oh, yeah, that's that. No. But they didn't know what it was.
Can we hear it again? We've got a clip of just that.
Let's hear it a bit more, yeah.
Can anyone...
His movement off the ball was...
No. If you can let us know before 4 o'clock, we'd love to know.
I mean, if you want to suggest some ringtones for Simon Jordan, 81089.
I just thought his ringtone would be him talking.
Yeah.
Let's get the TalkSport caller of the week now to the sports bar.
Let's go to Dan. He's a Man United fan. Dan?
Right, Danny boy.
Dan?
Hello.
All right, Danny boy.
Hello,
Danny
Dan.
boy.
Hello.
Danny boy.
Yeah.
Danny boy.
Talk, Dan.
Danny boy.
Hello.
TalkSport caller of the week.
Very nice. Simon Jordan's back with a managerial chat that takes a pretty dark turn.
It does, yeah.
Top managers don't let it go to their head. They demand what they want because they have a good reason for demanding it, because they deliver the outcomes on what they're given. And so I think any of those guys would be relatively sensible conversations to have. And then when you've drilled into the whites of their eyes...
Blimey, that sounds a bit much, doesn't it?
Maybe that's why Steve Bruce left.
God, Simon didn't mess about drilling down into the whites like the marathon man. Scary.
Unbelievable.
And finally, it's Carry On TalkSport once again, featuring David Tanner, our fine Scottish reporter, and Game Day's Rashmin Chowdhury.
St
Mirren's stand-in goalkeeper Ryan Mullen was caught in possession by a sprint from Dyson Myra, who scored with his tackle.
But let me know how much you want me to go on about the job that Keith Andrews has done, and I will.
You can slip it in anywhere you want.
Okay.
Here we are. Fanar.
I think we'll all move on from that.
We should thank Glyn Barrington, Andy Clayton, Andy Tideswell, Alice Pennington, Mark Cubitt, Joe Sullivan, David Sink, Roger in Durham, Colin Pep, Pay Berry, Owen Jones, official Nick Carl and DJ Ed, who all suggested clips that were played this week. If you hear a clip on TalkSport over the next 7 days, just give us a day and a time when you heard it, so we've got a fighting chance of tracking it down. Tell us roughly what it was, and send it to talksport.com/H&J. Text it to 81089 or tweet to TSH&J. If you want to hear the clips of the week again, you can at your leisure, wherever you get your podcasts. H&J Clips of the Week podcast,
Lovely.
also available on the TalkSport website. And the H&J Daily with some of the best bits of this afternoon's show, which will feature Will Meller and Ralph Little. We're on good form. And Stan Collymore, really interesting on Forest.
Yeah, very interesting.
Villa last night. You've been hearing some of the lines in the news. But, yeah, really interesting stuff from Stan on Morgan Rogers and more. So that's also the H&J Daily, wherever you get your podcast.
We've had a few texts on Simon Jordan's ringtone. Can't read any of them out, Paul. So
okay.
Nice,
none of us know what it is. They know what it is, or they just...
I just can't read any of them out.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. There's your heartland. Okay, let's bring you some of the managers' press conferences very, very shortly before we hand over to Andy and Benty at Forward Drive. We're here with our good friends at Tool Station. Get your home spring ready with great deals on top paint brands like Dulux, Crown and Leyland. Next stop, Tool Station.
Clips of the week on TalkSport with Tool Station. Next stop, Tool Station.
Look, Jose will always live in Chelsea fans' heart, okay? Because what he achieved and what he done for that football club. But Jose changed as a man. As the game has changed, I don't doubt he still has a quality. But I just find it crazy.
What do you mean?
Well, they've gone from, Real Madrid have gone from moving away from Zidane, okay? Then they went to Ancelotti. And then they brought in Alonso, right? They wanted to go in a different direction, slightly, moving with this slightly younger head coach. And now they're going back to Jose again. They sound a bit lost. Sounds a little bit like they're going back to what they know.
Yeah, but I hear you. And Julian Lorenz made some really good points there. I think Jose Mourinho in a bad fit. I think they thought that they wanted to be they've got Galactico side, right, with players again with Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, and Bellingham, players like that, right? They wanted to have like an Alonso coach who can make them play football. And they realised these players have got big egos. And they always have when you're at Real Madrid. Real Madrid is full of egos. Ancelotti knew how to control them egos. Who is a manager who knows how to control big egos?
Yeah,
Jose Mourinho.
I'm not saying he doesn't tick any boxes, but he will leave.
Do you need to have brilliant tactics when you've got them world-class players?
No, well, Jose obviously knows his way around a tactic board. He's tactically.
He's not an idiot. Of course
no,
he's not.
But there will be that the wheels will fall off. And he's the sort of manager now that I just don't know whether he. I just think
Benfica are unbeaten this season. I know they're second, but they ain't lost the game.
Hello and welcome to TalkSport Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Britain's best late-night sport.
Friday night intoxicating opinion and spirited sports preview.
The Sports Bar Weekender.
Tonight from 10 on talkSPORT.
Time then to hear from some of the managers ahead of the weekend's big games before we hand over to Andy Goldstein and Darren Bentwood Drive. We're going to kick off with Pep Guardiola, spotted at the Stockport match on Tuesday night, deciding not to watch the Champions League game between PSG and Bayern. And he revealed why he'd gone to Stockport.
No, because the day before I saw the calendar, the game PSG Bayern Munich. I said, what a disaster game. So managers are not good, Luis, Vini. So really yeah. So I decided to go to. I'm in love with English football, and I went to see Stockport.
Nice one, yeah. Really, managers. That's very good.
Do you think he was just bitter?
No, he was just having.
No, but in a good way, in a sort of like I don't want to watch this.
He seems very chipper, doesn't he? Very upbeat. Anyway, we'll hear from Mikel Arteta later. Let's hear from Roberto De Zerbi, who has addressed supporters who believe relegation is inevitable for the team.
No, it's impossible. We are crying. Everyone is crying. We relegate. No, not yet.
Yeah.
And we have to die on the pitch. And to die on the pitch, we have to lose the game. And before losing the game, we have to play. We have to fight. We have 2 points less than West Ham, and West Ham have to play a difficult game as well, like us. And for that, okay, it's not the best moment for us. It's not. Is a tough moment. It's a difficult moment. But the losers cry. The losers think negative, and I don't want people close to me crying or to think in different way than me.
Here we are.
Went a bit Warnock, didn't he, there, Paul? You've got to die for 3 points.
I'd love to see that at the weekend. Blind faith. That's all I've got left, really. But
I think he's the best one you've had in a while.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. David Moyes, they play City Monday evening, was asked if they've heard from the PGMOL following the handball against West Ham last week.
Yeah, but it's always rubbish you get back. Never get anything good back. So Jonathan, the secretary, spoke about it and spoke with him. I didn't do so, but it's never what you want to hear.
When you say rubbish, are you able to give us any further context?
Yeah, not really, no. No, you should ask them yourself. I would hope you would do.
Well, they're generally not allowed to speak to us. That's the thing.
Oh, well, they don't speak particularly well to us when we hear from them.
Oh, he's not happy. He's got a point, though, isn't he? I mean, basically juggling, wasn't it? A ludicrous decision. Really nuts. Anyway, Mikel Arteta was asked about the team's current situation before the Fulham game tomorrow evening.
Have enough fuel in the tank. I mean, we're playing to win the Premier League. It's exactly what we want it to be. 4 games to go. It's game 2. I'm ready to go.
There we are. Equally confident. Let's hear from Michael Carrick, shall we? The interim boss of Manchester United. They play Liverpool at Old Trafford on Sunday, pushing for Champions League qualification. And he was asked what it would mean if they finished above Liverpool this season.
Yeah, I just think this probably shows the improvements of the group, really, and getting stronger, and then to be coming into this game in such a good position, on the back of good results and trying to achieve and moving forward. So fully aware of the situation in the league and how close it is between us, but that's not something really we've focused on going into this game. I think it's a one-off game. I think they've got some terrific players. They're a good team. They won the league last year, and obviously we respect everything that goes into the game. So we're treating it as that, as a one-off game. The league position is what it is, but Sunday's a whole different ballgame.
Sam Matterface and the gang keep you in touch for that one on Sunday. We've got a massive day of EFL football, Championship football at 12:30 tomorrow here on talkSPORT. We got Leeds Burnley for you tonight. That is us. You're back tomorrow with
Max.
Both of you. You're looking at your plough against your.
Yes.
Max worried about Cambridge United.
Cambridge United and Spurs, of course, on Sunday for Max. He's got two teams. He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
But 9 to 11, the game day warm up. 2 till 6 on Virgin Radio. Game on, Paul.
Brilliant. Thanks for your company this afternoon. I will be back on Bank Holiday Monday alongside Perry Groves to pour over all the big games in the Premier League and beyond. Do hope you can join us from 1. But coming up next, it is Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent with Drive.
Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua. 03717 223344. Mohammed in Cardiff. Good morning. Where are you at with this then?
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Simon.
Morning.
Well, congratulations for your winning your award.
Thanks, mate.
But I think this is just another retirement paycheck for both of these fighters. 5 years ago, this fight would have been amazing. Both of them were in their prime. Both of them were world champions. It probably would have been a biggest fight in British boxing history. But now, Fury, you've seen a decline in his last fight. AJ hasn't been the same for a while. And it just